right. Well, welcome to another episode of the Jumping the Rail podcast here on the JTR Podcast Network. This is Mark Rebin coming to you from the Noodles position in Champaign, Illinois, joined as always by my buddy Minderz. And it was a fun weekend this weekend, Minderz. A lot of wrestling that we went and saw Saturday and Sunday.
It was a lot of changes.
A lot of changes. You handled the changes on Sunday better than I thought you would.
Really?
Well, your buddy lost his championship.
My other buddy picked it up.
That's true. Oh, I was there.
That was a win-win situation for me, honestly.
That's fair.
But we will talk about that tomorrow.
Yes, we will talk about tomorrow on the Indie Shootout, and you will be sporting a lovely chapeau that you earned on Saturday.
Yep.
But it's kind of fitting considering who we're talking to today.
Well, I didn't go get it, so I can't show him, but...
No, but, you know...
I'm still embarrassed by it.
It fits the theme, though.
It does. It does.
All right, well, it looks like our... we, I guess, already loaded up. Do you want to just jump right into it, Minderz?
Let's jump into the interview. We can do hoots, Judies, and all that later.
All right, sounds good. Well, our guest today, we actually got to talk to at the Squared Circle Expo in Indy a few weeks ago, and they are the United States Tag Team Champions in the NWA, along with Joe Cazana. We got Casey Cazana and AJ, the Country Gentleman. Fellas, how you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Good evening. How you doing?
Oh, we're well.
Trying to avoid the rain.
Do what?
Trying to avoid the rain.
Oh, shoot, man. We're it's rained here every day for the last 7 or 8 days, and it's raining now.
Ew.
Although it looks like wherever KC is, the sun's out.
It's sunny at 75 over here.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is. Well, Joe, can I start off? I want to ask you a big question.
Okay.
2 big questions, actually.
Sure.
I want to know, who was your favorite wrestler growing up, and how did you get into it? Okay, other than you, and how did you get into the business?
Well, I was born into the business. My grandfather, of course, was John Cazana, and he ran the Knoxville territory from, I think, somewhere around 1960, 1959, all the way to 1974. And so basically I was born into the wrestling business, and I loved it from day one. When I was in high school, I actually was able to work on a ring crew for Ron Fuller when he was doing Southeastern Wrestling and Continental Championship Wrestling. So, I mean, it was sort of a no-brainer, that I broke in the business, at an early, I broke in at 17 years old, and I've been in it this little, I think June will be 40 years.
God, you're old.
Yeah. Thanks.
KC, you're not winning any. You need to stay on his good side. Don't forget that.
Yeah, exactly. But as far as my favorite wrestler probably, not just growing up, but even after I got into business and got to Jim Crockett Promotions, was always Ric Flair. Ric Flair was my champion, and
Gotcha.
they don't come any better than Flair as far as the work that he put in back in the 80s and 90s, especially. The man he was in a plane crash, broke his back, and he still came and had. And, they want to say John Cena's got 17. Well, Flair does too. The one they don't recognize is the one that happened in the Dominican Republic.
Yep.
Because he went there and he lost to their local superstar. And I do know that if he hadn't lost to this local superstar, he wouldn't have gotten off the island.
No.
So
Yeah.
Flair legitimately has 17 as well. So regardless of what the WWE is stating, Flair still has 17. But Flair was always my most favorite wrestler.
Well, if you count all the unrecognized, unauthorized title changes in Japan, then it's probably more than 17 if you think about it.
Sure.
So.
I mean, I don't know how many times, even with Harley, who was another great world champion. I don't know how many times he lost to Baba in Japan, and it was never recognized because, I mean, we didn't have cable TV back then. Nobody knew, the magazines really didn't stretch, that far at that point.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? I mean, you just don't, I mean, it's just like with this age of television and you're so many shows in the can and you're trying to keep up with what's going on. And it's difficult sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I think the only reason that they knew that he did a switch with Harley in Singapore is because Paul Bosch happened to be on vacation at the time and he was there.
Yeah, he was there. And the rumor was that Harley also went to the Dominican with Flair as well to make sure he got off the island.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, Casey.
Yeah.
Casey, same questions for you.
Do what?
What was the question? It's my turn,
Okay.
Dad.
Be nice to him. All right. So, first question: how did you get into the business? Which obviously, I'm going to think you were born into it. I mean, that kind of seems obvious at this point. But who were some of your favorite wrestlers growing up? And you can't say yourself or your dad.
Oh well, it's not going to be my dad, so it's okay. No, the way I got into it was I was playing college football at the time at University of Tusculum, and I was like, well, I don't really love football anymore, and this coach is kind of making me hate football, so I don't want to play football anymore. I want to go do something else. And AJ was already tagging with the other guy from the Country Gentlemen in the NWA and wrestling. I was like, but I've always enjoyed wrestling, so I mean, why not go try that? And then here I am. Apparently, I'm a natural, is what people call me. But
Well,
I think.
So I had Joe Galley on about a year and a half ago, and well, I'm saying he put you over huge when we were talking.
Oh my
goodness. I think we
But
were
this was
plugging
a year
Sawin.
ago.
Yeah, I was only a year ago. I've only been wrestling for 2 years.
Yeah, he told me because I think you were 18 when you broke in.
I was 20 whenever I started training with Dr. Tom.
Okay,
And
because
21 when I had my first match.
okay,
But
yeah, yeah, he was putting over how young you were and how he said you had a lot of potential then. So then that's before you even got teaming up with AJ.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Apparently, I'm a natural. I think it's cool, but I'll just go out there and just go do the best I can.
Yeah.
But my favorite wrestler probably would be. I always enjoy a good old Randy Orton. I know it's like a basic answer, but I thoroughly love the Legend Killer version. Bald Orton was probably my favorite Orton. The Orton now is really good too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I like the Orton now.
Yeah.
But I think Randy, because that's what I grew up. I grew up with Cena and Randy.
Yeah.
They're big feud. So, but I like Cena, but now, like, when I was a kid, obviously I like John Cena. Everyone liked John Cena when you were a kid.
Right.
But now I'm like, well, maybe Randy wasn't the bad guy. Maybe Randy was right. It's all on. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I will 100% agree.
Yeah. Well, Minderz, you and I, like we always say, we were both at his first match on the main roster in Peoria back in 2002. So
yep.
So we go back a long way with Randy Orton.
Man, I was born in 2002.
Yeah. You know, I was feeling okay about it for a while, Reb. We had Joe on here. I was like, all right, feeling pretty good. And then when we found out, when he said how old, Casey said how old he was, he just made that twinge a little bit.
Casey's 12 years old. And, but let me tell you something about Casey though. He is, back in my day, the boys would all get together and they'd go to the bars or they'd go to the strip clubs or whatever. This kid right here, along with about 3 or 4 of the others of the younger ones there, man, they go back to the room and play video games. I think that's the greatest thing in the world. I mean, honest to God, these guys, they live to wrestle. And I mean, and I'll prime example, the slime balls. These two kids are in the same cut as KC. They're young. They don't necessarily party a whole lot. Now, it's like KC. I mean, they'll come down to the lobby and kind of hang for a few minutes just to be seen, and then they'll go away. And it's kind of funny, but it's all it seems like it's all the young ones. KC, the slime balls, Carson Drake, you know, the young ones. But no, they're all really good kids. And like I said, that's just a funny little thing that's in the back of my head because the wrestlers aren't the same anymore.
I say Carson Drake, your illegitimate other son.
That's what they say.
Dad has about 50 of them at this point.
Somebody said something about doing karaoke in Indianapolis, and so Carson went up there and said, "Hey, Joe Cazana's got to go to bed. You know, it's past his bedtime." So he pulled the age card. So he and I went up and sang karaoke, and AJ joined us. I think the kid here, I think he was actually playing video games or something.
All right, what's the video game of choice?
Right now, I'm really into me and one of my buddies on the Independents, Max Abel. We are very into the College Football 25 right now, and so we're playing the Dynasty mode on the online Dynasty mode on 25. But also, you know, I'm a big Star Wars nerd. Dad's the Trekkie. I'm the Star Wars nerd. And
can you tell I'm a Trekkie?
Has a Star Wars season right now.
Right.
And so I'm playing a lot of Fortnite because it has like Emperor Palpatine, Anakin, Obi-Wan, all the main guys. But I switch up. I play variety. I don't just play one game.
I was just curious what the game of choice was. I'm still stuck on a Sniper Elite, so that's kind of where I'm at. I'm on Sniper Elite 4, so.
Well, my game of choice is Pong.
Well, I had a feeling you were going to say that or Pac-Man.
Dad, you were live when Pong came out, right?
Oh, I was. I had Pong. I had Blip. And then we were really uptown when the Atari 2600 came out. Then we had Pac-Man.
And you had Smurfs.
It was horrible.
Smurfs? That was terrible.
Did you play the E.T. game?
Did you play E.T. on Atari? E.T. on Atari.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah, that was horrible. That was the worst game.
I've heard nothing but great things about that game.
Horrible.
Obviously, you didn't play it.
No. These kids couldn't play those games. I've literally got a 2600 retro, and KC gets the stick, and he what's this? You know, it's like AJ when AJ was probably 9 or 10 years old. He was helping me clean out a building here out on the ranch, and he got a record, and he said, "Dad, what's this?" He says, "Is it a frisbee?" And I said, "No, it's a record." You know, so no, these young whippersnappers just don't know.
Well, I'm not saying that I'm not a young whippersnapper, but my parents were older, so I got the best of both worlds.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, Reb, it's all you, kid.
All right, so we brought you guys on because the Crockett Cup is coming up this weekend at the ECW Arena in Philly. And is this going to be your first time at the arena?
No. The Gents actually won the United States Tag Team title at 76 last year in the ECW arena.
Okay, yeah, I forgot that's where that show was.
Yeah, that's where we debuted the all white heel version of us, which
is the
better version
known to mankind.
Do what?
The greatest song known to mankind.
Oh yeah, the greatest song known to man. Yeah, by the book song.
Yeah.
Yeah, going to the top 40. If Casey Kasem were still alive, it'd be number 1.
Right.
Yep, Crockett Cup this weekend at the ECW Arena is going to be a great show. There's no doubt. Last time we were there, KC, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we were pretty close to a sellout.
I don't know. They don't pay me to count people in the chairs. They need to get ready to issue refunds because people paid for the whole seat, but they won't be using it because they'll be standing the whole time.
Yeah, that's true.
I saw some of the matches. Yeah, I think, or some of the single in their singles matches too.
Yeah, there's a full card here.
Yeah, there's a few of those. I was like, yeah, I don't know why I would bother to buy a seat. Just give me general admission and I'll wander around the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's kind of like if you stop and you think about the history that is in that building, but then you talk about the history that's going to be this Saturday in Philly. I mean, you're talking, Natty Neidhart and Kenzie Page for the NWA Women's Championship. I mean, Natty's contracted to the WWE. This is unheard of. You want to talk about
Gail Kim's a special guest referee.
Yeah,
they just
Gail
announced it.
Kim.
Yeah, I just saw
it was
that.
announced today. But I mean, you want to talk about forbidden door? You know,
Right.
AEW doesn't have the market cornered, and they sure didn't pull this off. This was all Billy Corgan and the NWA that pulled it off, and that's going to be a major marquee matchup. It could only do wonders for both, depending on the outcome.
Right.
So I mean, it's going to be a big night of wrestling. There's no doubt. 16 teams in the Crockett Cup itself.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I've got the list here. I've got I think I've got 14 that I was able to find on the list. So I think I'm short too. But yeah, the lineup is pretty stacked as far as the field in this tournament.
Well, run through them, Red.
Okay, well, you got Southern Six, who are the defending champions of the tournament.
Everyone keeps mispronouncing the Southern Six.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's something we don't get. I mean,
it's the Southern Sucks, not the Southern Six.
Yeah, if it wasn't for AJ's big mouth last year at Crockett Cup, we would have beaten the Southern Six because the Southern Six was not intact. The two that we were supposed to wrestle were not intact. Silas Mason missed his flight. It ended up being Alex Taylor and Kerry Morton. Like I said, if AJ had kept his mouth shut, we'd have been the ones pushed through. They'd have been going home. Casey's right. Forget the Southern Six. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about the Southern Six. It's not even funny.
Okay. Well, we'll just
They're
move
gone.
right past them. All right. All right. Blunt Force Trauma, Carnage and Damage.
Incredible tag team.
They
Great. Probably has the best manager in all of pro wrestling, aside from myself, of course.
Well, of course.
Well, obviously. Next trip.
EC3 and Pretty Boy Smooth.
There's your thrown together tag team.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But hey, you know what? Smooth is almost 7 feet tall, so leave it to the overlord, overman, the delusional man, or whatever to attach himself to the biggest man in the tournament.
Right.
All I'm saying, I've made EC3 tap out. Just
All
Kevin Keenan didn't call it.
Oh, man.
My 1 year anniversary, I wrestled for the NWA World Title when EC3 was still champion.
Yep.
Apparently, I've won deadly arm drag because Mr. 3 took the arm drag and immediately tapped out. But Kevin Keenan didn't see it.
Of course he didn't.
So I was about to be the youngest NWA World Heavyweight Champion, but no.
No, EC3 and Smooth, they're going to be a formidable team.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of people saying that they could be the dark horse here.
Yeah.
No. We know who's winning. I have who I want my final two to be. Okay.
Oh, I do too. Yeah. Who's your final two? Oh, never mind. Reb, go ahead and read through it, and then we'll get to the final two.
All right. Next on my list, I got the Immortals, Kratos and Odinson. Who I'm a fan of these guys. They're just these two just big brutes.
Yeah,
man.
Kratos and Odinson are they're superheroes. That's just all there is to it with them.
Yeah. Speaking of 7-footers, Daisy Kill and Talos.
Former United States Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
They're going to be a force.
Yeah. You mentioned the Slime Balls. Sage Chance, Tommy Rand. Apparently, Minderz, they're buddies with Carson Drake. So
yeah, well, Carson Drake. We've tried to tell him 100 times. Boys, Carson's using you. Carson is using you all. Well, of course, you got a picture of Carson. He was selling the same pictures for $200 at the expo.
Yeah, I paid $10 for it. So there you go.
She haggled.
I haggled.
Okay, now I'm curious about this. We got the Lost. You got Gags the Gimp, Lev, and Alex Misery. So I'm curious what two of the three are going to be actually in the tournament.
What do you think, KC? I'm thinking Lev and Misery.
I mean that's who I would go with too. I know Misery's a lock. I think he's a lock in for the team.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to ask Jim Mitchell about that. I mean, it's you'd have to ask the devil.
Yeah. He kind of scares me.
Can they pull Freebird rules?
Why
not in the tournament?
Well, why not? We do, and the Southern Six does.
We said it right the first time.
We all do.
All right. So the Temple of Doom, but they spell it with two U's. Stone Rockwell and Beastman.
I don't know so much about Rockwell, but we know Beast pretty good, don't we, KC?
Yep.
Do you want to know him that well? That's the bigger
Yeah, that's a
question.
good question. It's yeah. Beast man is a big man.
There's actually quite a few big men that I saw that are on
We're not
this.
worried
So
about that. I got a great tag team.
Yeah.
You do.
All right. Mike Mondo and Slade, another thrown together team.
That's a team.
There's your dark horse team. I mean, my God, you got Mike Mondo and you got Slade. These two guys, golly bum.
There's at least 18 abs between the two of them.
Oh yeah,
At least?
Each one's got a 9-pack.
Each one's got a knife.
But those two guys, I mean, they're friends of ours, and if we have to wrestle them, they'll do the right thing.
Right.
Wait, Minderz Law?
They won't show up.
Oh,
wow.
I was thinking Minderz Law. You're friends with them. Minderz Law
no,
says
I
you
mean,
hit. But Minderz Law is you hit your friends the hardest.
No, not these two guys. Like he said,
No.
they've got 18 abs between them. You couldn't hurt them.
Yeah,
It's like Rick Rude. You don't punch him in the stomach because it just won't
Gotcha.
work.
Exactly. Yeah.
Stay away from the midsection.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, Austin Idol's Nightmare Syndicate, which is the main
That's a
Frank
new
and
team
Zion.
right there. Listen, let me tell you something. I talk to Austin Idol almost on a daily basis. Even though man broke my nose 2 years ago, I kind of sort of forgave him for that, but not really. And that's kind of what I tell him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But he was telling me when he put, Frank and Zion together, it's like, I said, my God, dude. I said, that's going to be a team that it might go deep into this tournament.
Yeah. Idol's one that I've been wanting to get on the pod for a while, but he's kind of hard to tie down.
Well, that's because you got to pay him.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes that becomes a problem once in a while. Who knows?
Sometimes you just got to pay peanut M&Ms to somebody, but
yeah, sometimes you got to pay them peanut M&Ms. I got to Amazon peanut M&Ms to somebody for this weekend.
There you go.
Yep.
All right. Next up, World Tag Team Champs, Knox and Murdoch.
Oh, I mean, what do you have to say about these guys? They've been ducking us since we've been U.S. Tag Team Champions.
Exactly.
We've not had one match with these guys, traditionally, and we are a by the book kind of outfit.
Of course.
I mean, hey, U.S. champions have always been the number one contenders, but somehow, some way, they've either found a way to get in the ring with the slime balls, blunt force trauma, Daisy Kill and Talos. They have avoided us they've avoided us like Sheamus avoids the sun.
There you go. They're scared.
Yeah, I got to think that them and yourselves got to be the top 2 seeds in the tournament just on the fact you guys have gold.
Well, you'd almost think so, but, I don't even think they've done seedings for this tournament.
Knox and Murdoch are the only ones as the number official 1 seed. I think is the only thing.
They are the 1 seed.
Okay.
Is the
But
only
you can't
seeding
take anything away
tournament.
from Knox and Murdoch, though. I mean, listen, Knox and Murdoch, the gents have wrestled Knox and Murdoch before, but this was KC had been in the business for 20 seconds, when they wrestled down in Sarasota. And this is a whole different, country gentleman tag team. So, whatever happens, if we get an opportunity at Knox and Murdoch, then, we're just going to put our best foot forward and show them and just basically show everybody why they've been ducking us for so long.
There you go.
I mean, you remember the old 4 Horsemen Midnight Express thing? Jim Cornette kind of hit the nail on the head. Why do the Horsemen, who are the greatest tag team of the time of the era, why are they avoiding the U.S. Tag Team Champions? Why is Knox and Murdoch avoiding the U.S. Tag Team Champions?
Right.
Yeah, I do love going back on YouTube and watching that Horseman Midnight Express feud. They got like an hour-long compilation of all the promos and everything.
Dang it, my bloody variant's all the way over there. I can't go get it.
That's all right. So, Minderz, I think we both have a kind of a sentimental attachment to the next
right
one.
There.
Oh, hang on. There you go.
Oh, there's Jimmy. Yeah.
I'm a big Cornette fan.
He's one of my best friends in this business.
Yeah, I love him. But yeah, all right. So Reb,
Okay.
He'll
what
never
team were you
leave
getting
Louisville,
to?
but that's okay.
Yeah, he'll never leave Louisville.
All right. Next up, Size Matters. It's our buddy Sam Minderz. Sam
It is our buddy
Stackhouse.
Sam.
He's been on the show a
Listen,
few times.
they're not even in the equation. We've already beaten them. God love Eric Smalls. This guy, I'm telling you, he wrestles like he's 6'5", and he is one bad dude. But you know what? Even a bad dude has to give way to physics.
Hey, Casey, how far could you yeet him?
Same thing goes for
what?
the big man.
How far could you yeet him? Yeet
We're not,
him.
we're, oh, I
How
don't
far
know.
could you
That's
yeet
why
him?
you throw Smalls.
AJ throws them.
Let AJ throw
AJ
him?
throws.
Okay.
AJ does the throwing, but I mean, as
Let
far
AJ
as
throw them.
big guy, I don't know. I mean,
I love Sam. Sam's a buddy of. He's a friend of the pod. We love him.
yeah,
so.
Stackhouse is okay. I mean, but
Although he's got a lot on his plate right now. I mean, his best friend just turned on him.
well, I ain't worried about his best friend. I could care
I
less.
know you're not worried about his best friend.
We've already beaten them. Again, enough said about Stackhouse and Smalls. Just move on.
Okay.
All right.
Well, the last team I have, and that's only the 14th team, is the Colognes, Primo and Epico.
Oh, the Colognes. Listen, those guys. I don't know. I mean, Casey, I don't think you guys have ever faced them even in singles competition. These guys, I mean, you talk about a kind of like we are, kind of like a generational kind of thing. We don't really speak much when we see them. The Colognes. Let's just say this about the Colognes: generational team, great background, great family. They've been everywhere. It would be a good win.
Did you ever have any interaction with Carlos back in the day, Joe?
Not much. I met him a couple of times. The one trip I did make, he was of course main event with Abdullah.
Right.
So I mean, I really didn't have much interaction with Carlos at all.
Who's Hammerstone teaming with? Did you say
Hammerstone's got a match in the tournament, or not in the tournament. He's got a match on the card. He's wrestling Silas Mason.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That's going to be a hot fight, Minderz.
Let me tell you something about Silas Mason. Although he is a member of the Southern Six, which whatever.
Southern sucks.
He is exactly. He is our champion at NWA JCP. So, in all fairness, I hope our champion just absolutely mops the floor with Hammerstone.
I'm just going to say, I think that's going to be a fun one. I mean,
it's going to be a banger for sure.
Yeah.
It should be a fun one. Actually, I saw one of our other buddies that's going to be on the card too, Reb.
Oh, would that be Rhino?
Yeah, Rhino's going to be there.
Rhino's got a title shot with Latimer.
Hey, see, you want to speak to the Rhino situation?
All I'm saying is the gents went up to IWR where Rhino runs. We took on Heath and Rhino. And all I'm saying, gents on top.
There you go.
All right.
Throw it out there, gents on top against Heath and Rhino.
We saw Heath get thrown across a bar once in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Was he with AJ?
No, it was Camaro Jackson.
No, it was a legit bar that they were wrestling in, and it was Camaro Jackson that yeeted him across the bar. It was great.
Hey, listen, Camaro Jackson's part of World League. That dude right there, that dude can go.
That's our Grand Region.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, even though Murdoch and Knox have been ducking the country gentlemen, listen, Trevor Murdoch's got one heck of an operation going on. He and Leland Race out at World League. Mm-hmm. That territory is kicking it.
Yeah, and I think Camaro might have done a shot or two for the NWA when they were at the Chase.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he did.
So, yeah.
Camaro's one of our buddies. He used to wrestle up here, or he was wrestling up here at 01. That's where we met him. Now we've been following him down to PWE down in St. Louis, and we watch what he does over at World League too. So
that's okay. The country gentlemen still beat Rhino and Heath in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3. So
there you go.
Hey, DeCobra beat Rhino too. So
who?
DeCobra. He's an Illinois boy.
Who's the Cobra? You talking about Santino?
No. Very good.
No, not even close.
Oh, actually, I have a picture. Hang on.
Do you have a picture of Cobra?
I got a picture handy.
Cobra's one of our favorites up here in the Independents right now.
And he beat Rhino.
He beat Rhino.
We have video proof that he beat Rhino.
Did he pay Rhino off?
I don't
he did
think
not.
so.
Oh wow, this
Right,
guy
that's
must
the
be
Cobra.
hot.
That right there is Cobra.
He beat Rhino.
Yeah.
He beat Rhino.
He must have something going on that I'm missing.
He's a
He's
hell of a
called
striker.
the Strike King,
Mm.
and his move set is pretty well based off Tajiri, Shinsuke, all that type of crew. So he's a pretty fierce.
He just outspeeded Rhino.
Sure
That was a
did.
big part of it. Yeah,
That's a big part of it.
He's a strong
got
style striker type,
Yeah, he's strong style.
but he's fun to
All right.
watch. Though.
Gotcha.
All right, well, real quick, let's run down the rest of the card that we got here for Crockett Cup because,
Sure.
like I said, it's a stat card here.
Yeah.
It's the NWA National Heavyweight Championship.
We lost one.
We lost Casey.
He's probably going through the dead zone. He'll be back.
Gotcha.
All right.
All right. Well, anyway,
Those car promos, you know.
I know where he's at. I know where he is.
yeah. Well, anyway, National Heavyweight Championship. Mims is taking on Maxie and Paler Minderz.
Yeah, well, make it make sense, Mims. Bless his heart. You know, all I can say is this. Matthew Mims has probably given Max probably some of their toughest matches. Let me tell you a little story about Max. You'll like this. So I can't remember. I think we were flying to Dallas. It was probably 8-9 months ago. It was before the January snow fiasco.
Sorry, I like that.
But
You're good.
I had pulled in the parking garage at the airport in Chattanooga, and I'm walking at 4:00 in the morning. I'm walking in this dark parking garage, and at the elevator, I see somebody holding the door open for me.
Oh God!
I look, and I said, "I'll be damned! It's Max the Impaler." And it was literally Max. Max was holding the door for me. I said, "Max, what are you doing in Chattanooga?" And Max said that they were filming some kind of a horror movie on top of Lookout Mountain.
No, wow!
Of all people to run into, I said, in a dark parking garage.
Yeah, exactly, a dark parking garage.
Thankfully, Max didn't have any makeup on.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I think I'd go the other way.
Weird. But
you would have ran the other way, maybe taking the stairs. Just saying.
Yeah, exactly. But make it make sense, Mims. We'll see how he does against Max.
Yeah. Well, he's going to have Black G's in his corner too, though. So.
Well, hey, let me tell you something about G's. G's is probably one of the most underrated managers there is. G's is. I don't know, man. It's just something about G's I like, but there's something about G's that I don't trust.
Then he's a perfect
manager.
manager.
Put my finger on it, but it's like Jim Mitchell. Look, Jim and I get along great. It's like he's a lot like I am. It's like he said last week on television. Joe Cazana is what was he called me, scum or something? That he's his kind of guy. So I mean, Jim's my kind of guy. But yeah, G's is. Hey, listen, don't underestimate G's. G's gets himself involved in that match, and Max could be in trouble.
All right, world television title match: Carson Drake defending against Brian Idol.
Come on, Brian.
I am a fan of Brian Idol. I like his work.
I'm a fan of Brian Idol's car.
What's he got?
A 1986 Fiero.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it is absolutely in mint condition. I've seen pictures. But as far as the TV title goes, Carson's been hanging on to that thing, just by strings, and I don't know. I mean, maybe Brian's got an outside shot, but I mean, I think Carson can run for 6 minutes.
Yeah.
6 minutes and 5 seconds. Isn't that right, Casey?
That's all you need.
Yeah.
As a Carson and I have a hate relationship. We're good. We're good where it's at. It's perfect.
I can imagine I can imagine that relationship.
It's a hate situation. We got this under control.
I can imagine it. But yeah, Carson's been defending that championship all over the place. He comes here to JCP just about every show, and he defends here. And last time out, he defended against 3 people here.
Oh, geez.
And beat them all in 6 minutes and 5 seconds total.
Nice.
Reb, Minderz Law.
Yep.
Yep.
A multi-man match. Champ.
Karaoke with him.
Yeah, I was say we always joke, say Minderz Law when it's a multi-man match and the champ walks out with the belt. We call it Minderz Law. We have 4 Minderz Law, so that's one of them.
It's like a Minderz Constitution. Just
there's only 4. I don't know why you keep trying to call it a constitution.
All right. Let's see. No limits match. Natalia Markova versus Kylie Page.
I'm a Kylie Page mark, big time.
She's from your neck of the woods.
Yeah, she is also our NWA JCP Women's Champion. She's Queen of the Territories, and I don't care what Tiffany Neves says. It's about Kylie. Kylie is the queen, and she's our champion. And as far as I'm concerned, is this no limits match? I mean, I don't know a lot about these newfangled matches, these no limit things. I mean, that's a KC question, but I think Kylie can. I think she can hang with Markova. Markova's bad though. Listen, when she threw that drop kick off the top of the cage in Dothan a few months ago, I mean, I told her, I said, you are probably braver than 90% of these guys back here in the dressing room coming off the cage like that. I watched her. Now, I can't remember where we were. Maybe Tampa. KC might be able to answer it better than me, but I watched her come through the ropes and bust her teeth out.
Oh.
Was that in Tampa? It was. She knocked out her front teeth or something. Natalia Markova is one bad woman.
I can imagine.
Don't let the looks fool you.
Rep, that's not all the matches, is it?
I mean, as attractive
we got more.
as she is, no, don't let the looks fool you because she's one bad woman.
Yeah.
Okay, so we already talked about Thrillbilly and Hammerstone, so we'll gloss over that one here. We got a chain match between Jay Bradley and Wrecking Ball Legursky. The Fixers split up, so I guess to call this a grudge match would be an understatement.
Lord have mercy.
Okay, first of all, I saw it was a chain match, and I didn't even see who it was yet. And my initial thought was, is Conley in this? That was my first thought.
Oh,
Mad Dog Conley. Familiar with him?
No.
Nah, that's all right.
I'm familiar with both the Fixers like KC is. He's been in the ring with them.
All right, Casey, who are you picking then for that
don't remind me. Don't remind me. Who am I picking?
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully the ring doesn't break.
It may.
That's 2 big hosses.
Mm-hmm.
2 big hosses going at it. They got a chain. I don't know if it's like a dog collar chain or they're attached at like the wrist with it. I don't know what a chain match is. We're going to have to wait and find out.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick anybody, I think I'd pick Wrecking Ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I would pick Wrecking Ball. He's got something to prove.
Yeah. Well, I remember about 20 years ago watching a big jacked up kid named Brad Bradley in IWA. So I've seen Bradley for a long time. But this Legursky has got something different. He's aptly named. Wrecking Ball is a good name for him.
Legursky's that. He's that. I don't know. We've all got a really good relationship with Legursky. We always have. Even though we've wrestled him, the Fixers, but it was only one time. I do know that the other set of gentlemen beat the Fixers for the U.S. Tag Team titles. But I'm like KC. I mean, you got to go with Legursky. He's got a lot to prove.
Yeah.
All
right. Women's title, Kenzie Page against Natalia. We talked about that a little bit earlier. But
answer this one, KC.
I mean, out of all the matches on the card, this one's probably the show stealer. I think this one should be, in my opinion, the main event of Crockett Cup because you have Natty Neidhart
Mhm.
and Kenzie Page. You have a WWE superstar against the NWA World Women's Champion with Gail Kim as your special guest referee. This match has the potential to, I'm trying to find, there's no words to describe how hype I am for this match. Because I'm a big Natty fan. I'm a big Kenzie Page fan. But this match is still like one for the history books.
Yeah.
Because
How long?
I like Natty. I always like the Hearts.
Yeah. How long has Kenzie had that women's title going on? It's been a while since she
I
beat
think she's
Camille
going on
for
2
it.
years.
Almost 2 years.
Damn.
75 is when she beat Camille. She's going on 2 years. Well, if she makes it to 77 with the belt, she'll have it for 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a long
Wow.
time. I mean, this match this match, if Kenzie can win this match, it will make her.
Yeah, I was going to say this is a star
And
making
to be
match for
perfectly
her.
honest with you, if she wins this match, I think that WWE, has to look at that and say what just happened.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes.
And Kenzie's got all the potential in the world to beat Neidhart.
Oh yeah.
But then again, you've got Natty Neidhart, like KC said, she's coming straight from the Hart family, the Dungeon, the WWE. She's been the WWE Women's Champion. I mean, she's done it all. She's been tag team champion, women's tag team champion. So I mean, like I said, you want to talk about a forbidden door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your intangible is Gail Kim.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Well, and
they've got history. Her and Natty do. They've got history
Yeah.
in the WWE together. And we're talking about good hit. We're not talking about beating the crap out of each other. We're talking about a friendship.
Right.
Right.
Can she put that friendship aside and call this thing straight down the middle? Gail Kim's your intangible.
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say here is, Reb, I want the natty we had at Bloodsport.
Yes.
That natty at GCW at Bloodsport. Chef's kiss. That's the aggression, the hits that I want to see from Natty.
But didn't Kenzie confront her at Bloodsport?
Yeah,
Sure did.
when Natty was leaving.
And yeah, well, that took nerve.
It's gonna be a good one. I'm excited. Yeah.
It's just sound weird to say.
I'm sure that the whole back will be huddled right around that gorilla television, watching the whole thing. Yeah. Me personally, if there's a seat out there, I'm going to go sit down and watch it. Yeah. As long as the fans will leave me the hell alone.
Yeah.
You know, after we win the Crockett Cup, and they leave me alone.
But we left you alone at your dinner that Saturday night at Expo. We tried to anyway.
Do what now?
We left you alone at your dinner on Saturday at the Expo. So
that's
we were
true.
at the table right behind you.
That's true. Oh, I didn't. Oh, that's right. You were. That's right.
Yeah, we were there.
That's right.
Yeah. This is going to sound weird to say.
That Saturday it took us forever to get that dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it did. You both.
All of it. Yeah. Rep too. They brought all the rest of ours except his.
Make the fat guy wait. That's not fair.
Exactly. No, Crockett Cup's going to be great this weekend. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Is there one more rep or is that it?
One more. World Heavyweight Championship. Latimer against Rhino.
Latimer.
Latimer. Hands down.
Yeah.
I mean, he's our champion. I mean, I'm not going to bet against our champion.
Right.
And while I'm thinking about it, Tom Latimer will be defending that NWA World Championship in Knoxville, Tennessee next weekend on an NWA JCP show.
Oh yeah.
He will be here defending that championship. So I have no doubt that he's going to walk away as champion.
Who's he defending against?
The Beer City Bruiser.
Bruiser. I love Bruiser.
That's breaking news. That's breaking news.
Breaking news.
Oh, AJ's already posted it. So.
Oh.
All right, Casey, I got a question for you. You ready?
Okie
dokie.
I'm taco-tastic.
All right. So, how do you think? Because you've watched throughout the years. How do you think kayfabe has changed with social media being a big thing now?
I think it's still real.
Yeah.
I don't like people, so I'm going to tell you how I feel about you.
I don't
don't like how I mean, when the camera turns on, I'm going to act a different way. No, screw all that. This is me when the camera turns on. This is me when the camera turns off. I'm not going to switch up just because there's a red light on. I'm still going to be me. I was trained to be me, but 100 times worse.
Right.
Thank Dr. Tom Pritchard for that one.
Thank you, doctor.
Well, Dr. Tom.
All right, Joe, same question for you because, see, there you go. There's his heavenly
Goat.
bodies that he's so excited
What is
about.
that?
That's my
You didn't see it,
heavenly
Rob?
bodies.
Yeah.
Goat.
It's Pritchard and Lane though, not Jimmy.
Well, Pritchard and Lane were the best version of the Heavenly Bodies. And believe me, I know I was there for both versions.
Well, okay, I'm going to ask you, Joe. How do you think social media has changed kayfabe?
It's ruined it. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm just saying this. Social media, albeit that's the way things get, out, and if Joe Blow wins the heavyweight championship of the world, it's going to be out. Dave Meltzer will put it out there in 10 seconds after the match is over.
Oh, joy, Uncle Dave.
I personally think that and people, say what you want to, but in my day, when we had territory wrestling and we went from territory to territory, a person could be a good guy in one place and a bad guy in another place, and nobody would ever be the wiser.
Right.
And it's like KC said, they could be themselves, or they could be a nicer version of themselves or whatever. But I think social media, albeit good for advertisement, albeit good for, getting pictures out there and sending friend requests and getting all these views and all these likes and all these thumbs ups and everything else. One thing I've had to develop with it is thick skin.
Yeah.
Because
definitely.
if some of these, and I'm going to, again, forgive my French, if some of these assholes would have come up to me in person back in my day, they'd have walked away with a busted mouth.
If they walked away at all.
You've got a lot of keyboard warriors out there who like to sit on there and they say, the NWA is the worst wrestling that I've ever seen in my life. Well, obviously, you've never seen wrestling.
Right.
Listen, I've seen some real stinkers with the big boys. I mean, some major stinkers. There was a couple of stinkers I heard from last night on Raw, but I just feel like that. I feel like social media, albeit good in certain ways, in a lot of ways, it's terrible for this business. It's absolutely terrible.
I actually got the opportunity, and I took the opportunity to ask Eric Bischoff if he thought he could have pulled off New World Order if they would have had the same social media they have now, if they had it then. And I don't think they could have.
He probably said no. He probably couldn't have done it either. He'd have done a good job with it, but if this social media now would have been like back then.
Yeah.
It would no. There's no way.
It wouldn't have worked. Wouldn't have worked.
Somebody somewhere would have found out that Hulk Hogan was going to become the third member of the NWO, and they would have plastered it all over Facebook or MySpace or whatever. Whatever
would have been the thing.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have been a big secret. It was no. There's no way any more than when Bob Backlund beat Superstar Graham at the Spectrum for the WWF. Championship. Nobody had a clue until the wrestling magazines came out.
I'm not even sure they knew until the end of that. I don't even think they knew until the end of that match.
Yeah, exactly. So, or like when Bruno got beat by Ivan Koloff. I mean, nobody saw that coming. But if you'd have had internet then, like you do now, everybody would have said, "Well, Ivan Koloff's going to win the championship." It'd be like WCW was back during the Monday Night Wars. Well, Mick Foley's going to win their championship. That's going to put a lot of butts in seats. I mean,
how'd that work out for him? That didn't work out so great for him.
Yeah, you saw how it worked out. But I just think that in this day, kids like KC and Carson Drake, they use this internet and they do a good job with it, as far as getting stuff out there. I don't do a good job with it. I'm pretty much AJ's barred me from even fooling with social media.
Well, speaking of, real quick, I'm going to bring in
KC here. KC says, "Dad, please stay off of social media." You don't. Albeit you're trying to do the right thing and you say good stuff, it's just the way you come across. You come across as a 1980s wrestler. Well, that's what I am.
I was going to say, I'm like, and?
But no, I don't think. No, this stuff. No. Again, ask Austin Idol the same question. He'll tell you the same thing I just told you.
Yeah.
That's the difference in the generations. My generation compared to KC's generation. They could not live without social media. Yeah. I don't need it.
I think I could.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, I'm gonna. We got another visitor. We got AJ.
Let's go. Don't worry, I'm here to save the day like I always do. I apologize. I was leading, coaching, and developing the next generation of young men to go out here and be dogs.
There you go. There you go.
Try to get my dad to shut up and stop talking for a second. So I can come here and run my mouth.
There you go. There you go.
What
All
I
right,
miss?
Rip. Well, let's see.
Dancing in like Thomas Jefferson. What I miss?
Well,
you didn't miss anything.
Let's start off the two questions I asked your dad and Casey earlier was, 1, how did you get into the business? And 2, who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
My dad made me get into the wrestling business.
Why did I have a feeling that was going to be the answer?
He forced me. He said, "Hey, you ain't got a choice, buddy. You're going to do it or you ain't going to live here no more." And I'm like, "Well, I've not been at home in 10 years, but all right." It was a fluke why I got in the wrestling business. And I played football at UT, ran through the Power T. And that level of adrenaline and dopamine that dropped because of that was only matched by professional wrestling. That's how I got in the business. Started training as not really a joke, but started training, and then I was like, you know what? I think I can do this thing pretty good. And went and trained with Doc, and now I lead the Country Gentlemen.
Lead is crazy.
My big, broad shoulders with my bulbaceous, ginormous chest, and my branding iron.
There you go.
And his humility.
Yeah, no, it's fluke, 100% fluke. And then my favorite wrestler growing up was always Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
I could sing his entrance music from the time I was about 6 or 7 on up to now. So, and I did a very good impersonation of the little, flex. Hey,
Reps on
KC.
you. Yeah, you're all driving. What's up with that? Dad's the only one in his little room, and you guys are all driving.
Well, I was working.
Your brother was at the gym, and me personally, I was watching MASH.
The picture proof.
I literally just walked off the football field.
I love MASH.
I do love you some MASH.
I was saying, I grew up watching MASH. That was great.
See,
I did too, but it wasn't my choice.
That was the only way I could stay up till 10:30 on the weekdays.
Heck yeah. Yeah. What else did I miss? I heard Dad talking about social media.
Well, we were talking about social media and how it sucks. How you won't let me do anything on it. And then we were talking about how Murdoch and Knox have been ducking us since we've been the U.S. champions.
Yeah.
That too. That happens all the time.
And the fact that you and your brother beat Rhino and Heath last week in Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the original question about the social media was, how do you think if there would have been kayfabe back in the territory days, if the social media that we have now, how do you think it's injured kayfabe, or do you think it's helped kayfabe?
Oh, well, I mean, if it was those guys back then, I'm assuming, because again, I don't know a lot of those guys personally, but they
we lost Casey.
It'd be tough.
Yeah.
It'd have been tough for them to keep it with social media, because everything nowadays is like everybody is in on the joke. Everybody gets it. Everybody's like, all right, well, we want to see real life stuff. We want to see you guys preparing for this or doing that or hanging out with these people. I mean, I try to keep it all the time, mostly because like I don't play a character. I'm just me
Right.
all the time. So I mean, what you see is me outside of wrestling. What you see is me inside of wrestling. Back then they'd have killed it just as fast. Just because I mean, people can't not post.
Right.
That's the curse.
Mhm.
And I don't think it's done any favors. But unfortunately, social media is the way things are going. You now have to post. You have to be visual online. On the flip side of it, you now get the chance to meet and get in front of hundreds of thousands of people or more, versus running the territories and only getting to be in front of the 5 to 10,000 or whatever. But they were also drawing that at every territory they were going to. So it's just a longer route to get to where you're going. But Jack Bond's seen a lot of success on social media. What's his name? Ben Bishop.
Yep.
A lot of success. Mikey O'Shea. A lot of success. And it's gotten them a lot of bookings and made them a lot of money. So the name of the game is to make money in this business. And however we got to do that, that's how you do it.
And we've gone international because of social media.
Right.
Because one of our people right now that's actually in our chat, his name's Shadowplay. Well, he's actually from Ireland. He works third shift, and he has nothing better to do than listen to us tonight. So
heck yeah. Yeah, that's one thing, dude. I got fans. I know we've got fans all over the place, the UK, Europe. A couple people in Japan message me and tell us how much they really like A Country Gentleman. I say Japan. I said Japan. I meant Japan if I didn't say it.
Yeah, that's what you said.
But it's a blessing and a curse all at the same time. Like,
yeah.
I hate social media with a passion. I think it is a poison to society. I think it's made us all soft. Because you can talk a lot of smack on social media without any repercussions.
Your mouth can write checks that your butt can't cash.
And
didn't I just say that before he came on?
Sure did. Yes, sure did.
Yeah. I mean, at least he's right about that. But
I'm right about everything.
But man, it's a world that isn't. I mean, it's good for businesses. It's good for growth. It's good for this. It's good for that. But it's toxic, and it's an awful thing for anything in your personal. Like, I don't post a lot of personal stuff. You'll see gym stuff. You'll see some travel stuff. Whatever. It's just I don't want you people to know what I'm doing.
Right.
I don't need you to know that I went to dinner with his hot redhead on Thursday night and watched The Highwaymen.
Yeah, that's not true.
I don't need you guys to know. It's none of your business unless I make it your business, and it's not. So I personally hate social media. I think the whole algorithm thing's dumb. I think the fact that I've got 6,000 followers and only 300 of them see what I post is ridiculous. I think it's all a big money grab, and I think that it's being used to taint our world, make people soft, and making people soft. What's going to happen is it's going to turn society soft, which it's already started to do.
Yeah, it's already happening.
Joe Rogan, I heard this quote on Joe Rogan. Hard times makes hard men. Hard men make soft times. Soft time makes soft men, and it repeats the cycle. I think that's just as prevalent in social media as it is anything else.
All right, Reb.
All right, so I want to kind of pivot a little bit because we've talked about the NWA and all this stuff. I want to hear more about JCP. You guys were running. How long have you been running Joe Cazana Promotions down there in Tennessee now?
Well, JCP itself has been running since 2009. NWA JCP, we're getting ready to have our 2-year anniversary with NWA JCP in December. What is that noise?
Probably me driving.
You got your window down? Turn on your AC for God's sake.
I didn't hear nothing. He's hallucinating. His mind's going.
No, but no. NWA JCP has been going. It'll be 2 years in December, but we've been doing it since 2009. I did one show in 2009, did one show in like 2011, and did one show in 2016, which was probably the biggest thing that I ever did for the football program here in Decatur. Matter of fact, we even got Jim Cornette out of Louisville for that show.
Oh wow.
You got him out of Louisville?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was
Wow.
here, and he managed the Heat Seekers, and he managed me that night.
Wait, that was before COVID, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That explains it.
Listen, if it's like AJ said, if I told you what Jim and I talk about the fans and everything, yeah, whatever. But
Yeah,
no, we've been
media.
going pretty strong. You know, now we do a show. We do our shows every other month, and we've got one coming up next week that I defy any wrestling company out there, not counting the big boys. I defy anybody to put a show together like we put together for May 24th. There's nobody. There's no local yokel mud show, plumber wrestling, whatever, these playtime wrestlers. Nobody out there has put together what we've been able to put together for May 24th.
Joe, send us the card. We'll put it out there.
We will do
We'll
that.
put it out there.
AJ, that's going to fall in your lap.
AJ, send it to Reb, would you please? Thank you.
Dad already announced one match without you being here, AJ.
Oh, that's good for him, I guess.
No, because AJ's already there's not been a match announced. A talent was announced.
I think I just sent the card. What happened? There we go. Just sent the card in that group
There it is.
message.
All right, there you go.
Or
Reb's got
the
it.
poster.
Now you take a look at that card. You tell me if you've seen a quote unquote indie company put together that.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Reb, go through it. I don't get to see it. I'm not in your group chat.
Me neither.
He keeps me out of the loop. This is how it works, and I'm supposed to.
Boom.
Oh wait, I did see this. I saw it
Beer
online.
Brawl Market.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a loaded card there.
Well, it's Beer Market Brawl.
Big time.
You just read it wrong.
You read it wrong, Reb.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If that's the one I've been posting, that may be the one I messed up on.
Beer Brawl Market.
I'll get it fixed.
Okay. It's all right. We got the idea.
Nobody, I can't read. And these guys don't get it. I can't read. What am I supposed? I'm dyslexic. What am I supposed to do?
To get away from the 24th, which is a loaded show, we come back to Decatur on June the 6th with the Caldwell Cup.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Which we're paying homage to probably the greatest Southeastern champion of all time, Whitey Caldwell, who tragically passed away in 1972 in a car wreck while still holding the heavyweight championship. So, but yeah,
There's so many
coming back.
wrestlers that have. There's so many that have gone too soon. There's so many.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's our next two shows coming up, and then we won't do anything until probably August. That's the Caldwell Cup, and it's a pretty loaded card itself. I mean, you just take a look at everybody take a look at who's on there from the JV squad to the Gents.
I say my Cincy squad's on there.
Mm-hmm.
There's Jack.
This is a 12-man. What the Caldwell Cup is, it's a 12-man singles tournament, essentially to crown a new number one contender. That poster, the words read right because I double checked it. But what we'll have two scramble matches, two 6-man scramble matches that will set up the seating for the rest of the night, and then we'll just roll tournament style, single elimination. Number one seeds get a bye all the way to the semis. Number two get it to the quarters, and so on and so forth. 3 and 4. We're using this new thing called what I call it, man. I'm quick draw I got it written down somewhere. Anyway, the last two standing in the ring from the scramble matches immediately start a match.
Gotcha.
5 minutes, only 5 minutes to win that match. Otherwise, you're both eliminated.
Wow. Okay.
First, and this is where it gets a little hairy. In the scramble matches, the first two pinfalls or submissions will crown the number 1 and 2 seeds from that side of the bracket.
Okay.
When the last 4 standing in the ring, it's over the top rope elimination. So you eliminate 2, 3, and 4 are left in the ring. They start their match. Quick draw shootout. Boom. 5 minutes to win, or you both go home.
Nice.
Hey, what happens if AJ and KC are in the ring against each other?
I win.
I'm gonna whoop his ass,
He's scared to get in a ring with me. He won't even train with me because he knows I can kill him.
bro. Because I don't want to hurt you
Last-
before you make something big happen, bro.
Last time he got in a ring with me, Dr. Tom had to go, hey, man, how about you take it easy on little brother for once? And I'm like, that ain't going to make him better or tougher, Doc. That's a true story. I was there.
I told
Oh,
you, Rob,
man.
you don't hit anybody harder than the people that you like.
Well, we got our sights set on something bigger than the Caldwell Cup. So
Yeah.
Okay, so if when you guys win the
When?
Crockett Cup, who gets to keep the cup in their house?
It's going right
it's
here.
coming. It's coming straight here to the ranch.
No, it's coming to Bullhead Ranch, baby. It's
No,
the
it's
wrong
it's
ranch,
coming to
Joe.
the big house.
The
it's gonna
wrong
come to the
ranch,
big house.
Joe. It's coming to Bullhead Ranch.
It's coming to the big house.
Reb, why
Yep.
did
I
you
gotta-
start this argument?
You may
I
have
got
to
a
set up a
12-pack.
quarterly exchange here. Every 4 months it goes to somebody's house.
I got a 12-pack. As long as they let me have it, not one. I got a 12-pack of PBR ready to go. Pouring that in there, and I'm sipping out of it. True story.
Sounds like a plan.
The problem is neither one of them, if I want it, neither one of them are man enough to stop me from taking it.
Oh, I am.
No,
I've got
I
other
carry a
ways
stick.
besides physicalities that can take
I
you out.
speak. I think Teddy Roosevelt said, "Speak obnoxiously and carry a large branding iron." And I take that seriously.
That's exactly what I mean. And he had that with you in mind
That was a quote verbatim from Teddy Roosevelt, and
about AJ Cazana. Yeah.
and I've taken that to heart. Quite frankly,
I thought he said that before he wrestled Terry Funk.
Yeah.
that's before he wrestled. That's before he wrestled the bear.
Oh,
The bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wrestled a bear, and won obviously.
Hmm.
That's where he got. Then he named Teddy.
True.
Well, I think everybody's missing the point. And when we do win the Crockett Cup,
Win.
Mama will decide where the cup goes. It's not going to be any of the three of us.
She don't want it in y'all's house. I can
You
already
don't
tell
know
you, hey,
that.
you ain't bringing that cup here, Joe. I already know what she's gonna say.
You don't know that. I got a great place for it right here in the Star Trek room.
Please tell me you have a captain's chair in that room that you're sitting
I
in.
wish I did, but you know how much those things cost?
Yeah, you'd be better off just building one yourself out of wood.
The last one I saw online was $7,500. I said, forget that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I just got a recliner.
that's all you need.
That's all you really need.
That's it.
Reb, we have kept our guests for over an hour.
We
I've
have.
only been here for 10 minutes. I'm good to go.
Oh no. Well,
I was
guess
late to the party.
That means we have to do this again.
that means we gotta do this again. We'll just have
Sounds
to come
good
on
to me.
later.
I'll tell you
How's
what.
that?
If you guys are at the expo again next year, we'll have some beers for you.
Hell yeah. That's what I like to hear.
Works for
Now,
me.
he doesn't- Casey doesn't want
AJ
any.
drinks, KC don't drink.
Okay.
KC's a stick in the mud. He don't do nothing.
Tasty
fucking.
Mountain Dew Monster Ghost.
Get this kid. We went to a casino. I couldn't even get him to sit at the blackjack table and play hands with me with my money.
All right.
I said, hey man, you sit down here. You can have half of my money. We'll just sit and play and have a good time.
Our friend, didn't want to bar by himself. I was being a good brother.
No, you were being a bad brother to me and good brother to somebody else. That evens out.
Hey,
So
look, I stayed down there with you while you were losing.
I didn't lose this last time.
All right, guys, we've had a blast having you on.
Thank you for having us on here.
We ought to try to get them back after they win the Crockett Cup.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Maybe sometime this summer.
And you'll see whose house that thing is sitting in.
There you go.
We need to find out whose house it ends up in.
Yeah.
It's going to end up here at the big house. I don't care what the bullhead brute house.
I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna have it out on the back porch, looking over my back 40.
There you go.
Yeah.
But that nice East Tennessee sunset that's on those. I don't know if you guys have seen the Visit Bullhead Ranch shirts.
Not yet.
No,
Nice, beautiful sunset. It's on NWAshop.com. Just kidding. It's not NWA Shop. It's NWA National Wrestling Alliance shop. It's a beautiful shirt. It's a cream colored shirt. It's got watercolors on it.
Just go to the
Check
NWA website and you can pull up the merchandise and it'll be on there.
Me, 12-pack of PBR, maybe a couple steaks on the grill from the Angus cows that we get from Uncle Rusty, and a nice, beautiful East Tennessee sunset. And then I'll make sure I'm home for that so you guys see that it is actually at
There you go.
my house.
that works.
Well, as I say, Reb, I'm going to be traveling through there at the end of this month. So
Yeah.
I'm going right through Chattanooga on my way to Florida.
Oh, well, we're not anywhere near Chattanooga. We're 45 miles north of there.
Well, I mean, I'm in Illinois, so obviously
You're going to come straight
gotta
down the
go through.
interstate. You're not going to get off the interstate to come over here to our 2 traffic light town.
am I? You
That's
never
2
know.
more traffic lights than you have in your town, Minderz.
I know it's 2 more traffic lights than I have in my town.
Well, I tell you, there's something to be said for having 2 traffic lights and all the property and no neighbors, and you pull in the drive. I pulled in my driveway earlier, and there's 4 deer in my backyard. So I mean,
Well,
as long as they don't jump in my pool, I don't care.
So
Well-
we have 3 stop signs. We're good.
I'll tell you, I grew up in a 1-horse town that had a stick horse. So
Yeah.
There
right.
you go. There you go.
All right,
Well,
guys.
thanks for
we'll
having
see
us
you
on
soon.
here, and
Absolutely.
we look forward to bringing that cup back to East Tennessee. And again, Knox and Murdoch have been ducking the gents for almost a year now.
Yep.
So maybe, just maybe, we get a shot at them at Crockett Cup.
There you go. That'd be a perfect final 2.
Well, I kind of would like to see Blunt Force Trauma and the Country Gentlemen in the final match.
No? Okay.
As much respect as I have for Aaron Stevens and a good a friend as he and I are, I'd like to match wits with him
There you go. All right.
because
Sounds like a
I'm
plan.
so off the wall. I don't think he could keep up, and
Yeah.
he's so intelligent that I
You
think
can't
it's a
keep up.
brain overload.
We did the same thing. We said the same thing. We're on it. We got his butt good, dude.
well, we saw
All
what
right,
Joe did
guys.
with Joel Gertner, so Aaron. can't
Well,
be on
I
the spot.
took care of Joel Gertner 2 weeks ago,
Yeah, we know. We were there.
but
He's
listen,
our
Joel Gertner's not Aaron Stevens, so.
Okay, but wait, I gotta show you. Wait, I gotta show this, Reb, because it's my pride and joy from the Squared Circle Expo. It's my pride and joy. It is a baby, and it's signed by Snitsky. That says Snitsky was here.
I didn't even see Snitsky up there at the expo.
How do you miss
Oh
him,
yeah,
man?
he was a blast. He was so much fun.
Guy's 8 feet tall with a 3-foot-long beard. How do you miss that guy?
And he's
They
chiseled.
had us in the same room with Sergeant Slaughter, so I mean we were listening to him talk the whole time.
Oh, I'll bet.
Yeah.
We had
All right, Rob.
Sergeant Slaughter to our left. We had downtown Bruno across the way from us, and we would holler at Bruno back and forth all day long.
I say you Plunky.
And
Plunky was
Bruno
over there by you
loved
guys.
the Country Gentleman.
Yeah.
Plunky was over there by you guys. Poor Plunky went home sick.
Well, it was
Poor
a
guy.
pleasure being on here. Like I said, we're going to win the cup this weekend, and let's just keep
Knox
our
and
fingers
Murdoch are
crossed
cowards.
that Gail Kim does the right thing and calls it straight down the middle.
There you
By
go.
the book.
By the book.
All
Play the
right.
song
All
and
right,
If she
guys.
doesn't do it by the book, then the Cazanas may have something to say about it.
Ooh,
There you go.
okay.
All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll
Yep.
see ya.
Thanks,
Take
guys.
it easy.
See you guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Reb, that was so much fun. That was so much fun.
I've never seen somebody be so nice about telling you they don't want you near their house.
Right? I know. It was great. You're like, no,
you don't have to do that.
No, you don't have to come 45 miles north. No, you don't have to do that. Okay. It's all right.
They were awesome. I'm so glad we were able to make
But
that
we
happen.
had so much fun with them at the expo, though, too.
Yes.
We had a lot of fun with them at the expo.
But I mean, if they're at the expo next year, we're bringing them beer. And whatever Casey drinks.
It won't be the first or the last time that I've taken beer to one of the guys at Squared Circle.
This is true. Hey, Minderz, let's say we pay some bills real quick, and then we got to get
we'll
into
jump
our
back
usual
to the
business.
beginning of what our usual business is.
Yes.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. All right, we are back. Thanks again to the country gentleman for joining us. But we're not used to having guests that punctual, Minderz. Like,
I know, that's so weird.
Like Joe and Casey were in there before we even played the opening.
Right? I was like, so I sent you a message. I'm like, we're starting with the interview.
Yep. I'm gonna make those guys sit and wait 20 minutes in the green room.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna make them do that.
No.
So I just saw something really cool, and I hope it's the truth.
Go on.
I just saw something that says TikTok with Karrion Kross. He's got two guys standing behind him.
Go on.
The righteous.
Oh.
Right? The righteous are standing behind him.
Vincent and Dutch.
Yep.
I like it. That's a good pairing.
I don't hate. I really kind of like that a lot. A lot. All right.
Well, Minderz, we kind of made you do an interview with what I can only describe as pudding brain because we haven't checked your brain yet today. I feel bad about that.
Okay.
So we're gonna throw to this, but
you made me do an interview, but I enjoyed that interview. It was crazy.
It was less of an interview than just a chat.
You know what though? Those are the best type.
Exactly.
In my opinion, they're the best type.
Yes.
You can sit and have a conversation with them instead of.
Oh yeah.
Here's the question, make the answer. Here's the question, make the answer.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, here we go. All right. It is time for a belated Name That Wrestler. Minderz, you know how this usually works, but it's a little bit different. Let me see if I can find my picture because I put the wrong one. That's going to be too easy for you. So there we go. All right. So usually, Minderz, I do a picture of a wrestler in their younger days, and you guess who it is.
Mm-hmm.
This one is a little different because it's actually a recent picture, but the guy does not look like he did in his heyday. So you're going to guess who it is.
Okay.
Take the
Sean, we haven't even gotten to our normal stuff yet.
Oh yeah, we jumped right into the interview first thing. So
jumped right into the interview. So you haven't missed anything. We're not there yet.
Well, no, he missed a hell of an interview.
Well, yeah, the interview was awesome.
As far as the general discussions, he hasn't missed anything.
Yes.
All right, are you ready for this?
I don't know, am I?
All right, so I'm going to throw this picture up. There are two people in this picture. One of them is Jeff Jarrett. That is not who the subject is.
Well, you couldn't have made it easy on me, could you? Biggie?
Now, for a TNA fan, they might get this.
Which I'm not.
An OG TNA fan.
I was going to say, I'm not an OG TNA fan.
Okay. Would you like a hint?
Well, I said Big E, so I'm guessing that's not it.
It's not Big E.
Okay.
All right. Hint number one. Super Bowl contender.
I don't know football.
Okay. Bad choice for a clue.
It's terrible.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Since I really, honestly, if it's not Biggie, I don't have a clue. I don't believe.
Okay.
So-
Hit. Oh, sorry.
Okay. No, go ahead.
All right. New breed.
Like Danville New Breed?
No, like WWECW New Breed.
What years was this?
Like 2007.
Yeah, right when I wasn't watching. Okay.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you'll get it with the last clue.
Okay.
Pounce. Really?
No.
Oh, Minderz, you disappoint
You might
me.
have to enlighten me.
This is a picture of the alpha male Monty Brown.
Huh.
And I suggest you watch some of his matches. You will like
Okay.
him.
Okay.
As
Yeah,
you can see, he would be Mama's type if she was
Yeah,
around
well, yeah.
in TNA. He's retired now, but he was in
Okay.
like the original like TNA. Then he went on to be the alpha male Marcus Corvan in the ECW as
Okay.
part of the New Breed with Kevin Thorne and Elijah Burke and Max Striker.
Okay.
But
I mean,
yeah,
the names, like I said, you hit 07, which was kind of when I went AWOL.
if you like Camaro Jackson, you'll like Monty Brown.
Okay. Well, then that's settled.
That's the best way I can put it.
That's settled.
He may have been able to pounce trust farther than Camaro did back in his day.
You mean he could have made it past?
He may have got him out of the ring.
Might have got him out of B-dubs?
Yeah, to be fair, Trust would have gone into like the third row if there were no ropes in that ring.
I mean, you're not lying.
Do I ever?
Really? Let's not go there. You picked on me a lot this weekend.
Oh, that's not true.
You put up a video of my face turning bright red and you getting side-eye.
Would you
I
like
don't
to
want to
feel
hear
better,
about it.
Minderz?
Huh?
Okay, right there.
I feel like I
wanna
should have showed
see-
that video to Joe when we were talking about Camaro.
Send it to him. You're in the chat with him. Send it to him.
I don't have the actual video. I just have it saved on here. I can't copy it off of there onto the. But
Not right now, anyway.
Right.
Maybe later. Okay, gotcha.
All
Okay,
right. So
let's
all
go
right,
to
so
good
moving
Hoots
on. That
and
was
good
a-
Judies.
I think that's the first time I think you haven't got the right guy with a few hints and name that wrestler.
I seriously, I had no clue who he was. Like I said, if you go too much, I don't know. But I had a discussion with a few people this weekend,
Mhm.
and they're going to send me some baby pictures of wrestlers that they know.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna get to test your brain at least once.
Oh. Okay.
At least once. And you know what? But here's the thing. I'm only going to put the picture in there. I'm not going to do the little, have the little who is it? Because I don't want you to know. And obviously, you're going to be looking at that section because I only take care of the
okay.
comments.
Yeah, we'd have to be on the honor system. I have to go to a different screen here while you.
Yeah, let's not. I'm not even worried about that. I'll just put the picture over there. And as long as I know who it is, that's all that really matters.
Right. I mean, if I don't know who it is, I'm just going to see a picture of a baby.
Pretty much.
Okay. Anyway, Hoots and Judy's Minderz. We haven't gotten into this yet today. We kind of went on like spreading the entire continent of North America for our Hoots this week.
Really did.
Yeah. Would you like to go first, or would you like me to?
Well, I guess I am because you already put mine up.
I was trying to drag, but I accidentally clicked on it. Why don't you go first, Minderz?
Go ahead and put him up there. It's Randy Orton. Come on. That
Hey,
match.
Can I just say also, his gear looked awesome.
Oh, it looked great last Sunday night. Whatever. Saturday night. Whatever night that was.
Yes.
It looked great.
This could be cropped into a dirty picture because you can only see him from the waist up.
Oh, it could.
He looks like he's enjoying himself. No, from what I saw, I did watch that match. Most of it very good. The finish a little hinky.
Let's talk about the finish here in a little bit, because I actually sat and watched the whole thing. So because I got to make some shout outs, because we knew some people that I saw in there.
Yeah. Well, you also you stifled my pick for Stooge this week.
I did. I told you couldn't, because he's a national treasure.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, that's all right. All right. Well, my hoot of the week is I'm going up to Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling in Canada this past weekend. They did another double shot there, and they crowned their first two singles champions. They're Canadian heavyweight and Canadian women's champions over the weekend. And my hoot is going to the brand new Maple Leaf Pro Canadian heavyweight champion, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander.
That's a pretty belt.
It's a beautiful belt. It really is.
I'm not a belt mark, and that's a pretty belt.
Yeah. But
I like that
really,
one.
who else could it be but Josh Alexander? He's kind of the face of Canada.
He really kind of is.
To the Canadians.
Right.
To the rest of the world,
I
it
mean,
might say Omega or somebody else, but
Osprey. I like him better.
Osprey's not Canadian.
Don't care.
I said face of Canada.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Josh, even though he's on the fast track to being one of the ruined in AEW, damn, he's a good wrestler.
He is, and it's a bummer. Shadow Play, are you still there? I hope
he was there for the interview. Yeah.
Well, I know he was there for part of it, so I hope he's still there. He hasn't said anything lately, so I don't know if he's still there. All right.
Let's go to Judy's. Since I accidentally made you go first, I'll go first on this one.
Okay.
She lost on Saturday.
I kind of need to change mine to 4 code Judy's, because I thought you were going with the other half. So.
Do you want to just put the whole match in your Judy hood?
Yep.
You can. That's fine. I just don't.
You don't have to find. No, don't find the picture. Don't worry about the picture. Just everybody knows who they are. So.
Yeah. Well, anyway, my Judy. She lost on Saturday at Backlash, but she cut maybe the perfect heel promo on Monday on Raw.
She cut a real good promo last night.
But I'm going with the man, Becky Lynch. There she is.
Look how serious she looks there.
Yep, she got her serious face on.
It's been a minute since we've seen her look like that.
I'm very curious what she meant by saying she's going to show the whole women's locker room what it means to be held down by the man.
Right?
We're going to get a lot of that "Don't Work for Me" brothers backstage and segments with Pierce.
Maybe. Poor Pierce.
I love Pierce. He's awesome.
We'll talk about him in a bit too.
All right. Well, Minderz, your Judy, por favor.
Well, I went from having 2 to having 4. And I'm picking all the girls from last night's main event.
All right. And originally
it was just Roxy and Julia.
Right.
Originally.
Yep.
And then, but that was when you told me you were going. I thought you were going the other half.
I was going to go Rhea and Io until I went back and watched Becky's promo again this afternoon. I was like, I got to give it to Becky.
Okay.
But that tag match was so good, though.
There you go. Yep. AJ, my good hoot is Cross for getting himself over enough to sell the most T-shirts despite having no TV time. My good Judy is Roxanne for not eating the pin. Hey,
something I liked about that tag match, and we'll get into more of Raw later, but the finish when Roxy hit the crossbody on Julia, it would have been very easy for it to look like Julia just like wandered into the spot, like because that's where the spot was. Rhea pushed her.
Yes, she did. That was probably one of my favorite parts of it.
Yeah.
So.
Like, oh shit.
Oh crap! Hi. All right, so then
but I will sing the praises of Io Sky until the cows come home for how good she is.
That was so good last night. Really, all four of those girls. I like it. And you know what? If we get Julia and Roxy in a tag going against Liv and Raquel,
I think they split the team up. I think Julia's going to go on her own. I guess there was some backstage during the post show. I guess Julia said the team was done.
No.
Which makes me wonder if they're going to turn Julia babyface.
Maybe
with Roxy.
She's already with Roxy. Oh, go against Roxy. Gotcha.
But let them get each other over.
Gotcha.
What was I saying?
Stooge.
No, before we get to Stooge, I was talking about EO. That's one of the things I disagree with Jim Cornette about, is his take on EO Sky.
Oh, I do too.
He's a little off. I think he thinks he's talking about Riho.
He may, because I mean, they're kind of the same size.
EO doesn't look like a little girl in a schoolgirl costume with a balloon in her hand.
Not as much.
No.
I mean, she still looks like a pretty little girl.
Yeah, but she's not like a schoolgirl. She looks like a small lady.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, she's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just wanted to get that off my chest there. Sorry, corny, but I got to disagree there.
Well, I don't agree with most of what he says about the women's. I take that back. I agree with some of it. I don't agree with all of it. How's that?
He has some wide takes that
he does.
It takes a little bit of selling to get me to buy into. All right, let's go on to Stooge. And
this took a minute. We had to think about this one a little bit.
I actually sent you a message. I said, "Did Hogan do anything stupid this week?" When I was trying to think of a Stooge.
I'm sure he probably did. But I didn't find where it was put all over Facebook or anything. So
no. Did you find the post about our Stooge that you sent to us earlier?
Oh, I can pull it up. That won't be a problem at all.
Okay, go ahead and look for that. I'm going to first off, my original Stooge that I was going to go with was R-Truth, but Minderz.
I said no.
As you said he's a national treasure and he is not to be stooged.
He cannot be stooged.
They dropped the ball on that post show.
Oh, they so did.
Number one, they should have saved that for In the Ring on television.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, they shouldn't have done a table spot. They should have just had Cena just break his heart. Either say something horrible to him or slap him.
Well, did you watch it?
Yeah.
You watched it like how it all, and he said, "Don't say another word."
Yeah, and then he started talking again.
And they started talking, and Cena's okay.
But why do a wrestling move through a table? Why do a wrestling move through a table though? Punch him, slap him.
Because they were done with the interview. They didn't want to do any more interviews.
Well, no, they could. They talked about this on Busted Open, and Bully had a great idea that could have made this work without having to do with a table spot because he thought that was unnecessary. Plus, it seemed underwhelming too, by the way. But he said he should have just pushed Truth into that backdrop and have it just fall down around him, and then Cena walk away.
No, that's true too.
Less is more sometimes, Minderz.
Well, I understand that. I do understand that.
All right, but anyway, we do have a proper Stooge or Stooges, depending on how you look at it. Do you have that ready to go?
How long? I'm looking to see how long this is. If I want to read the whole thing,
it's fairly lengthy, but I don't know how
it is. It is, and I pulled it from Yahoo Sports. So I'm going to go back and just read it from what they put on the official Cult of Cornette.
Okay. Well. Anyway, our Stooge. I'll just say our Stooge is GCW, and this is going back to WrestleMania weekend.
Yes.
And it is timely considering
you and I had a lot to say about this match anyway.
Yeah, we were not fans of this match.
No.
And I don't want to talk bad about the guy because we just lost him this week, but it's surrounding Sabu's last match.
Well, in all honesty, I didn't think he should have been doing it in the first place, but I respect Sabu enough to say that I don't think this should have been it. But
yeah, Janelle's a weird choice for his last match. You would have thought it'd be someone like Van Dam or somebody.
Taz
can't wrestle anymore. Taz is on the no-touch list.
Sandman?
Maybe Sandman.
Yeah, but Sandman helped him, so if Sandman was there.
Dreamer?
Sure, why not?
I mean, he didn't really have a feud with Dreamer.
No.
Which, by the way, that'll come up later. But anyway, go ahead and read what you got there about this situation, Minderz.
Okay, so this is what they put up on the official Cult of Cornette page. And they said they pulled the source from sportsyahoo.com. Wrestling Sabu was Sabu until the very end.
I will say Sabu can be stubborn.
Yeah.
Just as a preface, but go on.
So Joey Janela stated,
Jelly
Nutella. We are an hour into the show, and I said, just get Sabu here. Janela continued. So they gave him something called Kratom. You can buy it at a smoke shop or something. It's like a legal opiate or something. They said he's hopping on the bed. He's hopping off the bed, and we're going to get him to the show. He shows up 2 hours into the show. Sabu was on a different effing planet. Everyone in the backstage was like, what the fuck? Is this match going to happen? And my God, did it happen? And then, what do you mean Sabu can't walk? They said, yeah, Sabu... something with his knee, they're locked up, he can't walk, and his feet are bleeding. He's not coming. Sabu's not coming, I said. Sabu's fucked. So we talked to indie wrestler Matt Tremont, and Tremont is about to be the replacement for the match. And I feel like this is going to be the most embarrassing moment of my wrestling career. There's 2,000 people here. This is one of the biggest spring breaks ever, the biggest crowd Mania weekend indie-wise. And I'm going to have to go out there and announce that Sabu once again no-showed his own retirement match. Lauderdale was less concerned. In the back of my mind, I knew Sabu was coming. He said, I never once worried if we didn't hear from Sabu, then I would be worried. But the fact that he was communicating, I knew he was coming.
Okay.
So they hyped him up on drugs.
Yeah. It sounds like he was in no shape to wrestle.
Be wrestling in the first place?
Yeah. This kind of sounds like a differently skewed Jeff Hardy situation. Oh, in that case, Jeff just got too fucked up to wrestle and got just put in there for 10 seconds and squashed. But in this case, I get you want to get your main event out in the ring. Every booker wants to try to give the fans what they paid for, but you got to think about the guy and his well-being also.
You really do. But again, here's the other side of that. Would Sabu have had it any other way?
I don't think so.
And that's how, I'm not going to say I'm justifying it, but that's how I'm trying to look at it from that perspective. Would he have wanted it any other way?
Another way to look at it, another angle here, also, Fonzie was there.
Yeah, Fonzie was there.
Fonzie is very protective of Sabu. Like, he was on Busted Open yesterday when they did their Sabu tribute, and he was just going on about how much he loved the guy. He would stay at his house, and he was a surprise for the match. So he was there. So and we're just going off of what we read on the post
online. Yeah.
Right.
So
and of course, there's two sides to every story. This is
all alleged.
This is all alleged. But if it is true, then yeah, stooge for sure. But
stooge, big time stooge.
But there is that part of me that thinks if Fonzie saw something that shouldn't have gone on,
I think Fonzie would have said something.
On. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Fonzie's respected by everybody.
He is.
So I would.
Well, we love Fonzie.
What?
We love Fonzie.
We do love Fonzie. And so you gotta. I would like to hear more about this. Like, we're just hearing Joey's side of it. Obviously, we'll never get Sabu's side of it.
Yeah.
But I would like. Part of me wants to ask Fonzie about it sometime next time, like one of these days when we talk to him.
Let's give him some time.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, I'm not going to call him now, but
yeah, call him now, Reb. Call him now.
I sent him a text yesterday, for condolences reasons, but yeah, I'm not going to say, hey, defend your friend's drug problem 2 days after he died. I'm not doing that.
Well, I will say that I did reach out to our guest on Sunday.
Yes.
And I did ask him if he would be okay with talking about it, and he said he would. So, or at least talking about Sabu and the ECW days. So, we've got the clearance to go ahead and talk to him about that. So
cool.
Which, if you didn't know, Sunday we're going to have a special Jumping the Rail. Are we doing it live or are we not doing it?
We're going to record it and we're going to post it on Tuesday on YouTube, and then we'll drop it usual time on Thursday as a podcast.
Okay.
Who's our guest though?
Angel from the Baldies.
There he is.
So excited.
The King of the Streets.
Kingpin. That's what he goes by. Kingpin.
Apparently a lover of peanut M&Ms.
Apparently.
Yes. All right. Well, Minderz, I think we've covered all of our preliminary things to talk about. Let's get into LFG.
All right. Well, we're down to 4 girls, 4 guys. And this week we are now down to 2 girls and 2 guys. So after what you've heard about them, I don't have a whole lot of notes because there wasn't a whole lot being done. There was the 4 matches and that was it. Are you enjoying your popcorn?
I am. Did BJ Ray advance?
Hell no. I was so excited. Guess who BJ went up against?
Jasper Troy.
Yes.
Oh wow, I guess.
He did.
Was Bully openly cheering against one of his own team members?
He was. So they actually cut promos against each other before the matches, and this one actually stuck out to me. One of Jasper Troy's comments did, because Jasper Troy told BJ, "You are a 2-minute segment before the commercial break, and that's all you'll ever add up to."
Ooh.
Oh, they were scorching each other. It was actually really good. Everybody that was cutting promos, it was so good. So good. But yeah, so Jasper Troy moved on.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of expected that.
And Jasper was on Taker's team.
Booker's team.
Booker's team.
Yes.
The Booker team.
Yep. We had Danny versus Tyra. May Steele.
Mm-hmm. Boy.
Just gonna put that up there.
That's not a good sign.
Yes, that's not a good sign. Danny did not move on. Tyra actually tapped a Hell's Gate.
Oh.
So, well, Danny's the one that asked Taker for permission.
Right.
So
she's the cheerleader.
She's the cheerleader. But Tyra, they gave it to Tyra. So, and the way they did it was, since they had like, so like we had Danny and Tyra. So we had Mickey's team and we had Tyra's team, or Undertaker's team.
Mm-hmm.
But all 4 of them got to pick who stayed. So like Bubba and Book could pick 2. So they all picked Tyra.
Now, if there was a tie, would like Michaels be the tiebreaker?
Yes.
Okay.
Michaels would have been the tiebreaker. There were no ties though.
Okay.
Then we had Xena. Xena versus P Nasty.
Okay.
Panina. So Panina is Book's team.
Mm-hmm.
Xena's Bubba's team.
Right. She's the one that Bubba's really high on.
Yes. And she is still, in my opinion, if she doesn't beat Tyra, I'm going to be very upset. Very upset.
Mm-hmm.
Xena had it all together. She made P Nasty look like gold. And even when they got to the back, like they show, like when they go to the back and they show like how
like when
they interact when they get back there. And even P Nasty said, if it wasn't for Xena, my match wouldn't have been that good. So the fact that she said that was kind of, to me, that was, well, Xena's moving on. So, because they even asked P Nasty, Bubba asked P Nasty, do you honestly think I should give you the point? And P Nasty says, I'm always going to bet on myself, but I totally understand if you give it to Xena.
Good, right answer.
So, I mean, yeah, that's what I said. I said she had the right answer there because she's always going to bet on herself. Yeah, she deserved the point in her opinion. But so then the last one we had was Shiloh versus Chris Island.
Okay.
Chris Island's on Mickey's team. He bouncy.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shiloh is the one missing the front tooth. He's on Taker's team. I mean, this was a fine match. They did a good job. Shiloh did a great job. Chris, obviously, the way he's been the entire time, and said, if it hadn't been for me, Shiloh wouldn't have looked as good as he did. But yet Shiloh's the one that Chris knocked out in the first match because he didn't do his kick right.
Right.
Literally knocked him out. So we are down. So points. I didn't even write down who has what points. Shiloh and
Sean. Yeah, they're all in developmental. They're signed to WWE developmental.
They're all in developmental.
Yeah. That's the winner here gets an NXT contract.
Right. Shiloh got the point and Xena got the point for the week. So we are down to, it will be Shiloh versus Jasper Troy
Mhm.
and Xena versus Tyra. And they will be at Madison Square Garden.
Is that for on an episode of NXT?
I think it's just, I'm not sure what it is because I don't think so, unless there's something coming
It'll
up
be
this
probably be in
weekend.
the theater, I would imagine, not in the.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is in the theater. But so we're
Okay.
down to two for Taker, one for Bubba, and one for Booker. Mickey's out.
Literally, she's done after this season.
Well, Danny and Chris Island were her too.
Right.
So they're both out.
Yeah. So I think I'm guessing I'm not gonna pick because I haven't been watching. So you pick. Who do you think should be the two that win?
Jasper, Troy, and Xena.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought you would say, but
And actually, the one I have I actually am having a problem picking between the guys. Because Shiloh's really good and Jasper's really good.
Hmm.
The women for me is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Because just watching Xena in the ring,
and also knowing her work ethic too, from what everybody
Right.
says.
And Tyra just, I think
Do you think she's
think
phoning it in, like just riding on her gold medal?
I think she is. Like, that's the way I kind of feel about it. And it's just that Danny's just a little cheerleader, and that was all she did. So
Athletic, but
she's athletic and she could go, but
she
it
needs
was
more
nothing
seasoning.
that was memorable. I'll put, yeah. And she actually, how is it, Mickey? She needed to be roughed up around the edges. Like, it was too clean, it was too perfect, it was
Mhm.
too. So they were trying to rough her up. Yeah. But
Okay.
I'm so glad BJ's gone.
Yeah, good riddance, I say.
Don't have to deal with that asshole anymore.
Yeah. All right. Well, Minderz, let's move on. Let's talk Backlash because there were some interesting things that happened on Saturday.
There were.
We got a debut that we've been waiting for.
Which was almost my hoot.
Mm-hmm.
It almost was my hoot.
Matanza.
Matanza.
For
Monster
those that
Matanza.
don't watch Lucha Underground, that is Jeff Cobb.
Well, Jeff Cobb, yes. How much of this did you actually? I know you said you watched highlights, but what all did you see?
I watched all of the Cena Orton match.
Okay, I meant the first match, which would
the
have
first
been
match.
Yeah.
The finish.
The finish.
Yeah.
Okay, so you missed the part. So you know how there's been the whole deal going on between Priest and McIntyre.
Yes.
Okay. So at this one point, McIntyre Claymore Priest. LA Knight was already on the ground because he had taken a south
South of Heaven.
Drew Claymore Priest. Priest fell on LA Knight and the refs started counting.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, this is perfect. Would have been perfect. Another way that Drew McIntyre screwed himself over.
Imagine if they would
I
have
love
had
it.
that be the finish.
I thought they were going to have it be the finish. I really did. But we got Jeff Cobb back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
he's in the
okay.
bloodline. Well, he helped Jacob.
2.0.
He
He helped Jacob. But Jacob didn't look too thrilled about it.
So maybe Jeff was a solo call.
I think he was.
So once Jacob goes babyface, then Cobb's going to slide into that Fatu role in the group.
Yeah.
Sean, he's with you. He says Jacob wasn't happy with Jeff Cobb.
He was not happy. He kept staring at Jeff and at Solo.
I know I know this match has happened in MLW, but now I'm just chomping at the bit for Fatu against Cobb.
I think we'll see it eventually. But I mean, what were we even saying? What were we even saying though when Solo first showed up? All of us were saying that he took Fatu. It should be Jacob. That's what we said from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. And that's not even a knock on Solo. It's just how good Fatu is.
Yeah, exactly.
I love what Solo did in NXT before he came up and joined with the Bloodline.
Yeah, I think Jacob's going to turn face. I think he has to.
It has to, yeah, he's
He
too
has
over.
to. He's too over.
The fans love him, and the story's there.
The story's there.
And Draco can be babyface.
And he can still be a badass.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let him do both.
So Minderz,
Lyra and Becky was next.
hang on. Before you do that, how many sugar side eyes do you give this match?
The 4-way?
Yeah.
1.
Just one?
I liked it. It was a good match. I
Okay.
liked it a lot.
I will echo. I will give 1 Sadlith go.
Okay. Which means, allow us to explain, the least amount you get, the better your match. So if you get like 5 side eyes, it was a really bad match. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to
copy
make
the
out?
face.
Are
I'm
you
trying
trying
to
to make
copy the
out with
face.
There. Nope, down. Put your eyebrows down. There you go. There you
How
go.
ridiculous. Okay.
Yeah, you kinda are.
Okay. Next up,
Oh, Lyra and Becky.
Lyra and Becky.
Mhm. Lyra must have got the memo that we hate the feathers in her hair. She did not have feathers in her hair this time.
Okay.
And it was nice because you didn't see them flying all over the damn place.
Yeah. That's true. And maybe that was the message. Like, hey, we don't want to keep cleaning feathers up in the ring every match.
Right. Maybe. But I don't like her wings. I know that's her gimmick. I don't like her wings. But in my opinion, watching this match, I will only give her 2 side-eye sugars. So she only has 2 this time.
Oh.
It wasn't a terrible match. It was about average. I would give it a little bit above average. Just because, like I said, it was a good match. I liked the finish where she rolled like it was a quick pin on Becky. Do you like the fact that sugar's covering your face? Is that what's going on?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you didn't like it.
What?
You didn't like it?
No, I hit the wrong thing there.
Oh. Sean, I was not shocked that Lyra won, honestly.
I was a little surprised. I had picked Becky to win this.
I don't think they're done with the Becky Lyra story.
No.
And I think that's good because I think Lyra needs to work with Becky because in all honesty, this is the best I've seen Lyra.
Yeah, Becky's the best thing for Lyra.
She's starting to find what she is missing.
She's getting her balls back.
She is. Well, and she's just starting to find that character that she's missing.
Yes.
Or that
little intangible that she hasn't had.
Right. She's starting to find it. So I'm okay with it. After this, we had...
I think it was Dom, right? Dom and Penta?
Yes.
I'm going to go first on this. I'm going to give this one 3 Sadlith goes for the finish.
It was terrible. I'm going 4.
Oh, 4 sugars.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan. Was not a fan. But I'm also over
El Grande Americano.
Yeah, I'm over him.
Hey, he won the Speed Championship last week.
I don't care. Do we really care about the Speed Championship?
He was on a goodwill mission to Mexico this week, so he missed Raw.
Sure he did.
All right, I believe the next match, Minderz, was Gunther and McAfee.
Yes.
And I'm going to say this. I was impressed with
Did you
Pat
watch this
in
at all?
match. I did.
Okay.
He took his
Did you
lumps
listen
like a
to it
man.
on mute? Did you listen to it on mute?
No, I actually listened to Michael Cole cheerleading.
Wade Barrett through this was my absolute favorite.
I love Wade.
As he's trying to keep Cole in his seat.
Yeah, he's trying to keep Cole from jumping off a ledge during
He
this
is.
match.
It was great. I can't ask what any more of Wade. I can't because he did great.
Yeah.
Him calling and of course Michael Cole. Oh, I can't be biased during this match. I'm gonna be
He's never
biased during this.
He's always biased.
But I will say, yes, I was impressed with Pat. I will give Matt his due on the Pat
McAfee.
Matt McAfee.
He's like Dan Malenko.
Yeah, exactly. Shut up. So I will give McAfee his flowers for this because I think
considering he's only had 3 matches in his life, and he went there and he hung with Gunther.
He took it like a man.
Yes.
There were a few times that, like, I was kind of wanting to see Gunther give Michael Cole a powerbomb. Not gonna lie,
I was hoping. It should be pointed out, Pat did not tap out. He got choked out.
He got choked out. So, but Gunther at the end did do the little bow to Pat, showed him some respect. So,
yep. I would give this one. I'm going to give it 2 Lithgows because of Cole interfering in the match.
I'm going to do 3 because of Cole interfering in the match. I mean, not that I didn't expect it, but see, I guess the way I look at this is 3 side eyes is kind of average. It's an average match.
Okay.
It was average. Does Gunther get the title back?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Not anytime soon.
Nope. I would actually see him maybe getting
drafted.
I think he's going to SmackDown. Because
eventually Cody's going to get the belt back off Cena, and then I want to see Cody and Gunther.
Right. I still want Ilya to come. Did you see the sign for Ilya?
I must have missed that.
Oh, there was a sign for Ilya. It said, "Please come back."
Oh, I can't wait for Ilya to come back.
Oh, I forgot. He does have a rematch.
He has a rematch. I don't think he's going to win, though.
I don't think he is either.
I honestly there's still more time on Uso.
Well, I think Seth's going to cause a problem with that.
Yeah, I think Rollins is the one that's going to beat Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Then Punk's going to beat Rollins.
Or Braun.
Won't be Braun. Braun's the enforcer at this point. He's just there to soften up Jay for Seth.
Well, when's the
who?
Is that next? There's a triple match that's going to happen. It's going to be Punk, Jay, and Sammy versus
No, it's a tag match. It's Sammy and Punk against Braun and Seth. That's at the main event.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Hey,
that's a Saturday night main event, isn't it?
Yes, I want to show you something also that I came across on my social media scouring earlier before my nap this afternoon.
Must have been nice to get a nap.
It's a side by. I didn't. No, the nap took me. I wasn't planning on a nap. But no, this is a side by side comparison. I want to see what you think of this.
Okay.
Foreshadowing, perhaps?
Perhaps. Although I think Sammy would be an idiot. But I see what you're saying.
I think if he's going to hit anybody with the chair, it's going to be Jay, if he ever does decide to turn heel, because that's where the story is.
Mm-hmm. It's not so much a Punk.
No. Although, if he turned on Jay to join up with Seth, then you get the story of Punk.
Paul's face, though, when Punk came out. Oh, he was so scared. He was so scared last night. All right. Anyway, let's back to Backlash.
All right. Cena and Orton.
It was so good till the end.
Just for the sheer amount of fuckery, and I'm not talking about who was involved, because you're gonna talk about that here in a minute. I got to give this 4 sad Lithgows just for the fuckery. It looks like you're in line with the 4 Lithgows.
Let's see. Better?
Good enough.
Okay.
All right. The match itself was. They can't have a bad match. Those two.
Look, I'm going to disagree with you. I would have given it only 1 side eye, but since the fuckery at the end, I'm going to give it 2.
Okay.
Because then again, Cena and Orton always have such good matches. They're always good matches. Quit petting Sugar. She always looks so terrible. Although
here's my impression of how it would be if Sugar was here.
Yeah, basically, it would be. Yeah.
She did not like me.
It wasn't that she didn't like guys,
She didn't
period.
trust me.
She didn't like guys, period. Trust me. But yeah, I was so wanting Orton to hit the punt kick. He's gonna hit that eventually. And
He's
it's
gonna hit it
gonna
on
be
somebody.
great when it happens.
A
I'm
part of me-
hoping it's Nick.
Maybe that gets Nick into the ring.
Uh-huh. Because Nick said he might do one, but he doesn't want to do a run. He said that on social media.
Sean asked, when does Cena lose a title? At the Christmas Madison Square Garden show.
Exactly.
His last appearance.
To Cody.
To Cody. And then afterwards, he beats up The Rock and gets to leave as a babyface.
Yes.
Or beats up somebody. Travis Scott, for all I care.
Oh, please do. Give that boy his receipt for Cody. Good Lord. No, anyway, so during this, we got 2 refs that ended up coming out because both of them took a bump.
Mm-hmm.
We got, although I think maybe part of my favorite was when Randy took a sip of the Prime hydration station.
And recoiled.
I thought that was great.
Truth came out, obviously.
Truth came out.
Took a hell of an RKO.
He did. That landed on Cena.
Oh, okay. Then he loses it in his hometown December 13th then.
Okay, then he's losing it December 13th.
Either that or he wins, and on the way out, he hands the belt to Triple H on the ramp.
I don't think he'll do that.
I would rather
because
see
he said
him
he's
just
going to
drop it
ruin
clean.
wrestling, so he's not going to do that. He's going to lose the belt. You know?
Did a light bulb go off in your head, Minderz?
Well, you and I have both noticed how
Are you
they're
teasing
kind of
yourself with a good time?
maybe. You know how we notice they're running back a lot of storylines?
Mm-hmm.
Like history always repeats itself.
Mm-hmm.
Tripp doesn't want Cena to leave with the belt.
Montreal Screwjob?
Bingo!
I don't think
I'm not sure how it would work.
I don't think it'd get the same reaction. Think about it. You saw the Montreal Screwjob. That place was going to explode. There was damn near a riot. There would not be a riot if they screwed over Cena.
But kayfabe doesn't exist the way it did then. Tell me I'm wrong.
I feel like if they tried it, it'd just go over like a fart in church.
I don't know. Everybody went crazy whenever Cena turned on Cody. I don't know if they couldn't figure something out.
I think it hurts Cody if there's a screw job. He needs to win it clean.
Then maybe they need a transitional champion. Oh, what if it's truth?
Okay, I will admit, if Truth wins the belt, they will be throwing babies in the air.
Oh my God! What if it's truth?
Cody wins Money in the Bank.
Minderz.
Cody wins Money in the Bank. Truth beats Cena. Cody cashes in on Truth.
There you go. That's how you get it there. That's how you get it there.
Homelander Cody.
You know what it would. Yeah, because then he's beating up the baby face.
He
can turn heel.
Face.
The national treasure.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we get Homelander Cody. Book it, Trip, book it.
Let's see that on WWE Booking Room Fiasco, whatever that show's going to be called.
Oh, I forget what it's called.
I'm not going to watch it anyway, but
I don't want to see.
I don't want to watch the sausage get made. I know how the sausage is made, but I want to watch it. You ever watch sausage get made? It's gross.
No, I don't want to. No, if it's a storyline that they've already done and we already know how it ends, I'm fine with it. But if it's one that they currently have I don't want to hear about it.
Hmm.
So,
All right. So that was Backlash.
Backlash.
Let's move
Oh
on
wait,
to
and
Raw.
then the after part, and then the post show where Triple H is out there. He's talking about how great the show was. See, now he uses great, but he doesn't use great near as much as Tony does.
Right.
And
he sounds like an adult when he says it.
Right. Well, and John shows up. Cena shows up. He makes a statement how he apologizes that maybe he should be more attainable to the press. Kind of was his, a little bit more understanding. Because Naomi hates Jade. It's that easy. Sorry, Sean. Sean wants to know why did Naomi cost Jade another match? Because
she can.
Because she can.
She'll keep doing so Jade doesn't let her.
Yep. Till Jade puts her in the hospital is basically what that's going to boil down to.
After Naomi wins Money in the Bank and beats Tiffany.
Yep. Anyway, so Cena goes out there, he's talking, and then you hear in the hallway, "Where's he at? Where's he at?" Truth runs in and says, "I always believed in you, John Cena. You know, you're my childhood hero." Blah, 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 blah. He's like, "And what those people say out there, you can wrestle." And Cena stands up, looks at him, and says, "Don't you say another word or there will be repercussions."
Called him Ron, too.
He did. I was like, oh, crap. He used shoot name. Oh, crap.
He sunned him.
Yeah. And then he says, well, and as soon as he did that, John Cena flips him up, AA through the table. John walks out. They're done.
That's why it would have been more effective if you just slugged him and then walked out.
We'll see how it works. But, all right, now we can move on. Now what do you want to move on to?
Well, let's talk Raw.
I missed bits and pieces of Raw, I'll be honest.
Okay. Well,
but I caught the beginning.
Okay.
And I caught the end.
Beginning. Okay.
So
let's talk beginning.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were going to start talking.
No, I was going to let you start.
No, go ahead.
Well, let's see. I'm trying to remember what happened at first. Was it Seth came out? No, Punk came out.
Said he was angry at himself.
Yep.
Then he ran it back to when Paulie cost him the Money in the Bank match in 2013.
Yep.
And then Paul interrupted him, marching with a purpose, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
The tan, much better this week.
Much better. He did not look like a baked ham.
No.
Much better.
Or glazed ham.
Or glazed ham. Yeah.
So before Punk can go too much further, then Rollins comes out. And a lot of people would think Rollins is spitting truth in these promos about Punk.
Well, that's the best way to do it, is to spit truth.
That's true.
Because if there's an actual beef, then that's when they're the best storylines.
That's true. But so Rollins runs his trap about Punk and saying he's scum and all this stuff. He cost him the world title. And then Punk says something like, "You'll never be world champion as long as I'm on my 2 feet," or something like that. So then Seth sick brawn on him, and they beat the crap out of him.
And then here came Sammy.
Then came Sammy.
And Jay.
And then Jay. And not for nothing, that means the babyfaces had a 3-on-2 advantage on the heels.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't add up. It should be the other way around. I know they don't have a third guy, but
unless they're counting Paul, but
Paul doesn't do anything. He's just up there reacting, which is all he needs to do, by the way.
Fantastic.
Yes. So, yeah, so that builds to the announcement for main event, Punk and Sammy against Braun and Seth.
Which I'm assuming Jay will be in the corner for...
No, Jay's got a match.
Oh, that's right.
Jay's wrestling Logan Paul on that show. I'm sorry, was that derision on your part?
Something like that. I know Paul's good. Don't get me wrong. I know Paul's good.
Here's the thing. Is he going to be good enough to carry Jay to a good match?
Good question.
Look at the last two. Jay wrestles Gunther and Seth Rollins. That's the last 2 matches. Those guys can carry Jay to a good match.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy could not carry Jay to a good match.
Hell no.
Roman did okay.
Yeah.
Kevin and Sammy did good with them at WrestleMania a couple years ago when they had that tag match.
But then you also had the Usos. You didn't have them as singles, and they always do better.
Usos better as a team.
Always do better as a team.
Mm-hmm. So it's just, I'm very curious to see how Logan can do, because usually it's the heel that calls the match.
So we'll see how Logan does.
I'm very
Although I'm
curious
not
about
going to put it past him though either, because
No.
I mean they do have they do have their producers and different people to call their matches for them. So
it. True,
which
but
is still really
when you're out
frustrating.
there,
But
you got to be able to read the crowd. And
right, which I do think Logan does well.
mm-hmm.
I do think Logan does read the. But does this mean we're going to see freaking Travis Scott
Hope
if
not.
Logan Paul's out there?
No, he'll see Logan's
Is I Am
hangers on out
Speed
there.
coming back?
I Show Speed, probably not. If I was him, I wouldn't. He almost got cut in half. Last time he
Maybe
was
his
there.
manager will come back.
Probably his manager or one of his podcast chums with those brass knuckles will show up. And then we'll probably get Jimmy running
Yeah.
interference.
You know, I was actually surprised when McAfee showed back up last night.
Yeah, I would have had him off for the whole show.
I thought about how I was thinking he should have been off. Man, his chest. Oh,
Hamburger.
oh. Props to him for taking the chops. I'm just saying.
Hey, like I say, he took that ass kicking like a man.
He did. He did.
All right.
Ugh.
Let's see. We talked about Becky's promo.
Mm-hmm.
AJ and Finn, I thought was a good match.
It was actually really good. I liked that match a lot, actually.
Aside
New
from
Day.
the match,
What did New Day do?
they were on commentary during the Viking Creeds match.
Yeah, the Creeds won that, didn't they?
Yeah, New Day interfered. Here's the thing. Aside from the matches, the angles almost seemed like they were kind of in a holding pattern. They didn't do anything bad, but they didn't really do a whole lot to advance anything.
Right. Well, and the reason I think they're doing that is because they do have Saturday night main event coming up.
Right, because I think
So I
booked
think-
the triple threat for the tag titles, right, for main event.
Yeah.
Vikings, Creeds, and New Day.
So I think everything's going to be at a hold. I don't think they're going to push to anything too major until we get to not next weekend, but the following weekend.
Right. I don't think there's any title changes coming on Saturday.
No. 'Cause I will actually be driving through Tampa when all of that's going on.
So we might pay Fonzie a visit.
I'd love to, but we're already getting our whole week booked. It's like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Did you make time for a Coastal Championship Wrestling show?
No,
Hmm.
I don't have time.
All right.
It needs to be one of those when all of us can go down, because
Yeah.
I would just feel awkward going by myself.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't.
All right. Well, anyway, moving on.
You didn't send me the lineup of what we're talking about tonight, so I have no idea.
No, we're almost wrapping up here. The main event we talked about a little bit during this is Judy's segment. Really good. I like how at the end they kind of teased Rhea looking at the belt,
Mhm.
so we know that's going to circle back
I thought
around
that
at
was
some point.
very well done, actually,
Mm-hmm.
because it wasn't like she was because they had the belt in the middle, so it wasn't like she was looking past Io.
Right.
Like she
just
was
looking up.
looking at her as a competitor, though.
She wasn't
So-
gonna sun her like she did at WrestleMania. Build-up.
Right. She wasn't gonna palm face her or anything like
Pie
that.
face.
So, pie face, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was Raw. It was a good Raw. Not anything really to write home about. It did what it needed to do.
Did you watch AEW?
Fuck no.
Neither did I.
No.
I meant to. I meant to because I'm really curious. I do need to go back and watch it because I want to see if MJF is in the Hurt Syndicate yet.
I'm curious this week. I might watch the main event just because it's Joe and Mox in the cage.
Oh.
I have no delusions that Mox is dropping the belt on TV, but
No.
just to see Joe just rough Mox up in a cage.
It'd be fun. Can he? I hope he gives him a gut buster. At least 3.
Muscle buster.
Muscle buster. At least 3.
Maybe. We'll see.
At least.
And now it's just a matter of figuring out just how the Death Riders are going to interfere in the match. Because they're going to.
They'll figure out a way.
Or
the Bucks will show up.
Or the both. Now you're making me not want to watch on Wednesday.
How about this? Well, yeah, you don't have a way to rewatch it, do you?
I do.
Oh.
I can do
You
it on
want me
YouTube
to
TV.
watch it first and then tell you how much bullshittery is in it, and then see if I can actually make it to the main event?
If you want to do that, go ahead. I do listen to Busted Open After Dark usually the next morning.
Oh, that's right. So
all right.
You basically know what happens.
Yeah. All right. So we're not going to talk too much about Sabu today, just because if you follow our Facebook, we do have a show announcement for our Extreme FM review. We're doing a special bonus episode Thursday that we're going to record, and we're going to drop it on the podcast Thursday night. It's going to be us and Dickie Wabash from Mad Bash Studios. And instead of doing an ECW on TNN episode, we're each picking a Sabu match, and we're going to watch 3 Sabu matches on Thursday.
Still working on mine.
Yep. I think Dickie's down. I got 2 in mind. I've got 2 in mind, and we're trying to help you figure out which one.
Well, here's my thing, because like I said, ECW wasn't my thing. I didn't get it. So I haven't watched a whole lot of it. So here's what I'm suggesting. How about you guys pick the ones you want and then pick the third one, and then I'll just react to everything, and we'll say that third one that isn't your favorite and isn't Dickie's favorite but still needs to be mentioned.
Yeah.
Can be mine.
Okay. Oh, real quick, Sean, I forgot to mention this. Mercedes Moné did lose her New Japan Strong Women's Championship over the weekend.
Good.
So her bag's a little lighter. But yeah, I think I know which one I'm picking. So we're gonna have to figure out links and time cues, but we'll put that in the notes when we drop the episode.
And I've been watching some, so I may come up with my own.
I watched a fun one that I'm not gonna pick, but I watched a fun match today, Sabu and La Parka from MLW in 02.
You told me not to go to MLW.
No, I'm just saying I watched that match. I wasn't saying I was gonna.
Oh.
I'm not picking it.
Okay.
I just watched it for enjoyment.
What did I tell you? I watched it. You
said you were watching this in Japan.
I watched this. I had been watching Japan because it was funk and Sabu.
I got you. But yeah, you said you watched Van Damme in the stretcher match also.
Yeah, Van Damme in the stretcher match. Yeah,
that's a good match. It's kind of a train wreck, but
exactly, it's a train wreck. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not picking this one.
Yeah.
But I've discovered that there aren't too many that aren't train wrecks when it comes to Sabu. So.
The ones in Japan are crazier than the ones in ECW.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be watching the Japan ones.
All right. Well, Minderz, the only other thing we really have to discuss today is our top 10 Tuesday for this month. So let's go ahead and throw to that here.
Okay.
All right, it is time for Top 10 Tuesday. There we go. And
why did you put up the JTR Hall of Fame background?
What? Oh, hang on. Give me a second.
Like, wait a minute.
I set up a separate,
hi, John.
With all of our segments.
I don't know who John is, but
hello, John.
Three Belts Monet. Good. One less than she had.
Mm-hmm. Here's to 2.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, you know what? We might get some new listeners because I actually joined another wrestling group on Facebook. And I shared our podcast with them. So we might get some more from the Chicago area. So
hey, I did hear we got some listeners in the Netherlands. Gone Dutch.
When does Omen travel overseas again?
I'm not sure. He traveled to St. Louis over the weekend though.
No, he didn't.
Was he in the? He wasn't the one that got the AA from Cena.
I don't think so. I didn't get a chance to ask him, but the more I looked at it, it doesn't have enough. Whoever got it doesn't have enough tattoos on their one arm.
Gotcha.
I went through and really. Oh, but speaking of, I forgot to say this earlier. Nixie XS was on Backlash.
Yeah, I saw you sent me a message about that.
Yeah, she was actually one of the EMTs that came out to help when Priest and McIntyre went off the
stage,
out in the crowd, out in the stage. Yeah.
Was she just like a glittery EMT?
Well, she had her usual makeup, but she had like the EMT. Yeah, it was really weird. I was like, hey, there's Nixie.
She's
and
like,
then
people are gonna recognize me.
And then when Truth took that's why I wanted to bring up the AA. When the AA got done in the
press conference
for the press conference, Mike Outlaw was one of the guys that came to check on Truth.
Outlaw.
So I was like, oh, cool. And I'm pretty sure Bosby was there too. I'm pretty sure I saw Bosby too. So, and I know our buddy Baracus was there, but he was in the crowd though.
He was at the table.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Okay.
You're not wrong. Anyways, back to top 10 Tuesday.
Flying off the rails as usual. All right, so this is a Sabu tribute top 10 list, and this might help you pick your matches, Minderz. Because
all right, so I need to take notes. Let me take notes.
So our subject today is top 10 Sabu's greatest opponents. So not a match necessarily, but this might give you a little bit of a roadmap. Yeah, but this will give you kind of a roadmap to some of the matches you should look for.
Okay.
All right. So number 10, Just Incredible.
No.
We watched this match when we covered Anarchy Rules on the Extreme F and Review, Minderz.
We did. We've seen this one.
But it is one of my favorite Sabu matches between those two.
Well, maybe I will then. We'll see.
Well,
maybe
I would say don't pick that one just because we've already covered it on the show.
I called it. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
All right. Number 9, the only non-ECW one on the list, I went with the Monster Abyss from TNA.
Yep.
Yeah. You should check out their barbed wire match. That's right up your alley.
right up my alley.
But no, they did all this crazy shit, but they really told a good story with it too. It was rolled around Abyss being afraid of barbed wire. But Father Mitchell didn't care, so he made him do it anyway.
Father Mitchell.
Father James. Sinister Minister.
Sinister Minister.
Apparently Joe Cazana's buddy.
It's that guy. It's that guy right now.
That guy. Right now he's that guy.
Right now he's that guy.
All right. Number 8. And I only put him this low because he only had a handful of matches with Sabu, but Cactus Jack.
Okay. I was watching one of those over in Japan. I'm pretty sure.
I love the first match that they had together, which is this one in the picture from Hostile City Showdown in '94, which was Cactus's ECW debut. And it was purely for attraction, just to see who was the craziest, and Sabu wound up winning that match. And then they had a rematch in '95, and then I think they had another street fight. I forget when that was, though.
Let me just look here real quick.
What are you looking for?
I want to look at my history, and I can tell you which ones I've been watching.
Oh.
The stretcher match from '96 with Rob Van Dam. Where'd the other one go? Sabu versus Cactus Jack in the Desert Death Match.
Okay, yeah, that's like the third match they had.
Sabu and Terry Funk barbed wire match.
Oh, that one's crazy.
Terry Funk and Tarzan Goto
yeah.
versus the Sheik and Sabu. So those are some of the ones.
I'm just curious. I didn't watch that match. Did the Sheik throw fire?
I don't remember. I'll have to go back and watch. There was one of these that it started out and it was just like a highlights of the match, and so I quit before it got going because I was like, I don't want to watch just the highlights. I want to see the whole damn thing. If I'm gonna sit and watch a death match, I want to watch the whole thing.
Yes. All right. Well, number 7. For rivalry, he should have been higher. But for matches, I've got him at number 7. That's franchise Shane Douglas. These two, along with Funk, invented the three-way dance in ECW.
You know
And-
what? I might take a look at those.
You should. There's one is the night the line was crossed in 1994. That's like considered the classic one. And then
So I'm not quite there on my other watch because
Right.
I'm in 93 right now.
Yeah. And then Hardcore Heaven 97. The main event was Funk, Sabu, and Douglas in a 3-way. That you should check out. It's pretty good.
97.
My third favorite ECW pay-per-view after Heatwave 97, Heatwave 98, and November to Remember 97.
Don't forget, we've got another pay-per-view coming up too.
Yeah, next month we're doing Hardcore Heaven 2000. 'Tis a juicy one.
'Tis a juicy one. I know what happens on that one.
Uh-huh. All right, number 6. Some of my favorite matches were Sabu and Too Cold Scorpio in ECW. Because they would, Scorpio could do the flippy shit, then Sabu would just dive through things.
So basically the same shit.
But I think Scorpio did it smoother.
No, I mean, that sounds about right.
You know, we could do a who's whooping who of Sabu against Darby.
Sabu.
Especially since Darby's on Mount Everest right now.
Well, especially since Darby only weighs 150 pounds soaking wet.
That's true. And he is probably soaking wet in ice.
Probably.
AKA Flash Funk. But
Yep.
I prefer to think of him as Too Cold Scorpio. Though.
We like him a lot more as Too Cold Scorpio.
All right, number 5. And this is one I wish I could put higher. Terry Funk.
No.
I mean, you mentioned the barbed wire match. That's what this picture's from.
Yep.
Basically, it ended because they just got tied up into a giant ball of barbed wire.
Because why not?
And Sabu had to get 140 some odd stitches
Is that
in
the
his
one
arm.
where he taped his bicep
Yep.
back together?
He taped his bicep up, and then in the back he put crazy glue on it to close up the wound because he hated needles. so
Sounds like somebody else we know that we'll talk about tomorrow. That doesn't like needles.
all right. Number 4, I was wrong. This is my other. Well, technically he's ECW because they did have a match in ECW, but in FMW, Sabu had a really good run with Hayabusa.
Okay.
He was one of the guys in the tag match at Heatwave. Him
Yep.
and Shinzei Shinzaki against Van Dam and Sabu.
Doom?
But these guys are so similar, right down to their just their look, except for the mask. They were very similar
Right.
looking, and their styles were very similar. But Hayabusa again, a little more polished with the high flying stuff.
Yeah. I don't think Sabu meant to be. I didn't think
No.
he wanted to be.
Do you remember?
Wasn't that one the thing he said? Who was it we were talking
Dickie.
to?
Dickie
Was it
said
Dickie?
he would mess up on purpose to make it not look good, but
Right.
he could do all that stuff flawlessly. But he
would
made
do
a
it
point to do something where he would do the triple jump and then fall off the top rope. But he did that on
Mhm.
purpose so it wouldn't look perfect.
Right.
Which I love that story.
I do too.
All right, number 3. These are probably the 3 you thought were coming, Minderz.
All
if I had to
right.
guess. RVD.
That's one of them.
This picture is from WrestlePalooza '98 when they went to a 30-minute draw for the TV title.
Who was
Recognize
champ at
the
time?
what?
Who was champ at the time?
Van Dam.
Okay.
Do you recognize the referee?
No, it's blurry.
Would you recognize him if he had a black robe and a gavel?
Was that Judge Jeff?
That is Judge Jeff Jones as the referee in that match.
I'm really impressed I remembered his name.
I love the feud these two had because basically it revolved around when Sabu was a babyface and Van Dam was a heel when Van Dam first came up, and he was like the cocky asshole, which apparently he's really good at.
No.
And Van Dam and Sabu kept trying to get a handshake out of him, and this went on for months. And Van Dam just wouldn't shake his hand. And then that's what led to the stretcher match.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then they started teaming up, even though they didn't like each other. And
Sounds familiar.
yeah, then they got Fonzie, and they were on the same page, but they still didn't quite like each other. Sabu still wanted to beat him up here and there. It was a contentious relationship, as we saw on TNN when we were like the tail end of Sabu's run.
Mm-hmm. But Fonzie always kept him
He did. He called it right down the middle, Daddy.
right down the middle.
Yep. All right, number 2, Sandman.
Yep.
These two.
I'm
probably
kind
had
of
the
surprised you didn't go
craziest
number
matches.
one.
No, they
I
had
know
to,
I know who your number one
Right,
is, but
but these two definitely had the craziest matches in their run in ECW. The Stairway to Hell matches and the Singapore Cane on a pole and just fights. It was ridiculous. And
I like just fights.
yeah, and Sandman apparently Sandman was on Busted Open yesterday. They had like Sandman and Fonzie and Taz on talking about Sabu. And
Kind of glad
Sandman
I didn't watch. I probably would have been crying.
might have been. Apparently Van Dam was supposed to be on, but I guess he couldn't do it.
I mean, that's understandable.
Yeah. But
With as
Sandman,
much as they probably traveled together.
oh yeah, they're like brothers. I mean, Van Dam trained under the Sheik.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah, so they were tight. They were really tight. But Sandman said that he wrestled Sabu more than anybody else in his career.
I believe it.
So
I
yeah,
believe it.
they were tight too. So, but yeah, it's Minderz law. If you're buddies, you're gonna beat the piss out of each
You're
other,
gonna beat the piss out of each other.
or blood, or feces,
Whatever
or
else. What other bodily fluids you want to get rid of?
Ugh.
That sounded really bad,
It
didn't it?
did. I'm not
Yeah.
cutting it though.
Okay.
All right, number one. Do I have a drum roll on this? Yes, I do.
I think you do.
All right. It's a no-brainer for me. I know you disagree, but it's Taz.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I still had him in top 3. I just
Well,
see a man above Taz.
They
Change I would have done.
I mean, they main evented the first pay-per-view, even though they didn't go on last.
Right.
But this was the match that they built that pay-per-view around.
Mhm.
At Barely Legal.
Mhm.
Then they had rematches. They had they traded the FTW championship back and forth. They were tag team champions together, like in '95. Then when Sabu bailed on ECW, went to Japan, then that's when Taz got over as Taz, because he was the Tasmaniac before that.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
You got to the Tasmaniac yet?
Not yet. We're not quite. I think I'm only like 3 episodes away though. I think I'm really close.
Okay. But yeah, when I think of Taz, I think of Sabu and vice versa as far as feuds go. And they shared Fonzie. Fonzie turned on Taz to go with Sabu.
That's true.
And
Did
Taz,
you pick that match?
I did not pick that match. I didn't pick Barely Legal, but
Maybe.
think about it.
I'll think about it.
But yeah, that's especially those top two are the two I most think of wrestling Sabu.
Yeah.
Sandman and Taz.
Well, top 3 because RVD is always up there.
And
when I think of
yeah.
when I think of Sabu, it's always RVD that I think of with Sabu.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So we kind of have a busy week, Minderz, because
We do. It's
tomorrow, Independent Shootout. We got Bax from Pro Wrestling Epic joining us,
and he will be on at 6:15.
All right. Well, I mean, we start at 6, so jump on at 6. Listen to the whole thing. Watch the whole
Well, yeah,
show.
jump on at 6 because we got lots to talk about.
Yeah, we got to talk War Games. We got to talk All Vermilion Wrestling, Signal 10,
Hybrid,
Iron Spirit Pro, Hybrid.
Iron Spirit.
There's a lot of shit going on last weekend.
There was.
Thursday,
I think I sent you all the results too. By
I think
the way.
you did.
Okay.
Thursday, we mentioned we're doing the Sabu tribute Extreme Effing Review episode. Friday, we're doing our regular Extreme Effing Review episode.
I need to talk to you about that too.
Okay, and then also Friday, Gold Rush. You're gonna be dropping it on YouTube Friday.
Oh, you got another one?
We got one coming up. We're doing the SmackDown Tag Championships from 2016 to 2024. The blue nickels, as I call it.
The blue nickels.
Not to be confused with blue nipples, which just happens when you go out in the cold with no shirt.
Great. Is that the one
I said too
with
much.
like the Spartan masks or whatever that was on? Okay.
It's like the big pennies, but with the blue strap and the plates were silver.
Yeah.
So that's what we got cooking this week. Next week on, Sunday we're recording it, but the King of the Streets is joining us on JTR Angel from the Baldies and ECW.
Kingpin.
Yes. And I'm debating, Minderz, should we just do that live on Sunday?
I think we should.
Why don't we? I mean,
it's going on at 5.
Yeah, but we won't do like the extra stuff like Hooch and Judy's, all that stuff. We'll just do the interview live.
It's just going to be a special interview.
Yeah. We're doing it the usual time though, right? 6 o'clock?
5.
We're doing it 5. Okay.
5 Central.
So, 5 Central time. We will post it on the Facebook page and all that with the link on to the YouTube. And And yeah, so if you got questions for Angel, if you're ECW fans, what have you,
Bring
jump
them
with us.
on.
Please bring him on. He said he wants original questions. He wants
Yeah, he wants
he wants to
original
be
questions.
challenged.
Yes. And I've been working and I've been doing some research.
Yeah.
So
And then
I know you. So
yeah, I really want to ask him about training with Johnny Rods, just what he was like, because Johnny's a Hall of Famer and a legend and everything. Trained Dreamer in the Dudleys. Well, some of the Dudleys, not Bubba.
I need to go back and watch. I want to go back and watch those videos you sent me. I watched them once, but I want to watch them again.
Yeah, because there's something juicy that we're going to get into.
There's
on
something
that
really
interview.
juicy there. I want to get into the tea on that one.
Yes, it'll be a Sunday
'Cause
tea
I'm a
party with Spanish Angel.
Huckster. And like I said, I cleared it with him. We're going to talk a little Sabu on Sunday.
We got to talk some Sabu. It just makes sense.
He was there. So
And we got to talk New Jack too.
hell yeah. You got the
I want to show
crossbow?
him. I want to see if he's ever seen this picture.
Yeah. We got to have that picture ready. We got to have that picture ready.
Because
and
why
say,
wouldn't New Jack have a crossbow? I'm just saying.
well, and my biggest question for that is, what would he have done if he would have been in the ring?
I believe he would have run.
Probably. Or would he try to take it?
And he's a fool. All right. Well, Minderz, so that's what we got coming up. Thanks everybody for joining us. A big thank you to the Cazanas, the country gentlemen, for joining.
Next week, do we have a guest on here?
It's Angel. So we're going to record.
Oh.
There won't be a show on Tuesday.
Oh, we're not doing Hoots and Judy's and all that on Tuesday then?
We can.
We'll talk about it.
Well, a no guest show Tuesday.
Just a no guest show Tuesday, and
then
yeah.
we'll go from there.
It'll be a short one because,
So-
3 hours goes a little much once in a while.
Yeah, which we're flirting with at the moment.
Yeah, we're flirting
on
with it right now.
237. So yeah, we will do Sunday with Angel, then we will do a regular episode Tuesday. Make it a free for all. You guys get in the comments. Just mention what you want to talk about, and we'll bring it up.
Maybe we'll pick something and let's pick a really crappy WrestleMania and talk about it.
Okay, well I know which one I'd pick.
Not 9. We can't do 9.
Not 9.
6?
11.
Oh, 11. Okay, yeah, sure.
It was rife with technical issues.
Sean, you will have to listen tomorrow to find out who won War Games.
Yep, we will be talking all about War Games tomorrow evening.
Get to see my war paint.
Yeah, and then we'll have to talk about my big moment Sunday.
You had a great moment Sunday.
I had a blast Sunday.
I, on the other hand, crashed and burned. But
I think you didn't do so bad. But we'll talk about all of that tomorrow, though.
But yeah, we will talk that tomorrow at 8 about when we talk all Vermilion Wrestling. So
yes. All right. Well, Minderz, let's get out of here. I'm hungry and I am ready to get moving here. So I had a long day. Got another long day tomorrow, but that's neither here nor there. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. Until next time, for Minderz, this is Reb. Remind you all, life is hard, work stiff, and we'll see you guys next.
Thanks, guys.